Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is BMT coming at you again. Yeah. So here we go. So I got to listen to, I haven't been doing any streams. I've been out busy, um, working, clubbing, working, and just out there living my life. And I was looking at some, I was like, I was looking at a lot of stuff as time was going on. It's a new year. Happy New Year for those people. I hate when my hair is uneven. Happy New Year. I think there's some stuff I know there's some stuff in me that I definitely I grow wary of. I'm starting to understand exactly what Ramil was right on literally on what he was talking about. Like it's getting old. The same talking points, the same circular conversations, the same tactics. Ramil was right. And I get it why he opted out. He had more courage than what I did. Because honestly, I gotta be for real, man. I'm starting to understand. Taking off my doggone flip flops. This is a place for lonely people, man. I thought it was a social place. This is a place for lonely people or people who don't have nothing going on for themselves. This area, you know. I'm not gonna lie. When I first came onto YouTube, I had some stuff, some demons I was dealing with. With okay. Um, hell out of me. I had some stuff I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? With the VA, my life changes, and I was transitioning, family, different other stuff. But as time went on, I I worked those things out. I worked those things out. I actually sought help and getting some stuff on, and I actually started to move forward. Um, hmm, Hell workers, yeah. Um, I put up that picture of Starship Troopers. Um, I don't really. I'm getting tired of this place, man. Like it's like I know I say that a lot, and people say, "Oh, well, BMT." Well, then I think I'm stuck in an infinite loop, and I don't get why people do what they're doing. Well, I'm starting to understand now because some people that I notice that come around me, um, they're like the people that I used to see at the corner store. They're like the people I used to see at the corner store that would always drink, mope in their sorrows, and like seeing dysfunction. And those type of dudes that I would see like that in women, that's all they were good for. Good afternoon. And I want y'all to really start looking at, uh, start paying attention to what people start to talk about. Now, if that's all their content is about, then I get it. What's up, Walter Davis? And you got to ask yourself in 2022, is that really the type of people that you want to be stuck around? Like this, these channels of YouTube, some of them like weaponizing kids. They say the well, the reason why these things are happening for kids, like the weaponization of kids. I'm starting to see it. Gender war. Everybody don't have a problem with the opposite gender. I only know two genders, so I don't know any other genders. I'm not gonna try to learn any other. Religion. I get tired of people throwing all kind of religious texts at me. That's for me and my soul and whatever else I choose. And race. A lot of race baiters. A lot of race baiters. Black YouTube. No such thing as black YouTube. White YouTube, conservative YouTube, Hispanic YouTube. Everything has a certain algorithm that is predominantly you can set it up in your settings. But I don't come around or jump on certain panels anymore. Or when I see certain talking points start to happen, I start to good evening, Shar. Good evening, Shar. I love you so much, baby. I don't want to be part of that no more. I don't. It's 2022. I'm not really seeing a change um, in what people talking about, and it's honestly is getting tiresome. I got to protect my peace. To all those who coming in the chat, I'm going to open up the panel, but I don't want to always. I'm not going to listen. I don't have no beef with women. I don't have no beef with other people's races. I don't have beef with religions. Whatever vitriol a lot of y'all got going on, we understand YouTube is getting tired of y'all. YouTube is getting tired of y'all. And I know somebody gonna say, well, they ain't doing nothing about the women. Listen, then go take it up with the policies, man. All this race baiting, gender baiting, religion and all this other stuff. Social media is starting to get tired of y'all people, man. And I'm going to start reporting some of these people too, because I'm like at this point, I don't really care. I don't care, but I'm getting tired of y'all too. I think some of y'all should go somewhere else. I think some of y'all should go somewhere else, man. I think it's time for y'all to push on. We had to do that to the people at the corner store that were always sitting there, eye gawking women, always doggone, pushing off customers, cursing, throwing sunflower seeds all in front of the shop, in front of the plaza and everything, playing loud music, rustling up the business. You know what? After a while, we had to do. We had to start pushing them on. We had to start calling the police. We had to start getting rid of them. We understood that at some point they were never going to change, so we had to force them to leave. And they said, "How can you do this, man? This is where we hang out. Y'all need to go hang out somewhere else." That's for the men and the women because we understand that's just how y'all are going to be. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. Like I don't go no, I don't go to people's channels or panels or channels now. Um, if I know that's all the conversation is about, or that's literally all the space is about now. Because I understand you want somebody to come down into your cesspool of your condition. Why should I? Why should anybody? And see, I gotta I gotta also get at the chats because the chat y'all like that because that literally amplifies your condition of who you are as a person. I don't need to have a conversation with those type of people anymore. Why? Because I'm not there. I'm not in that space. When I wasn't in that place anymore, in that type of lifestyle or in that type of economic situation, there was no need for me to be around those type of people because I wasn't in that mindset anymore. But I would ask y'all, what is it that y'all want? Well, they're not going to change the laws. Well, how do you know? You're not. What are you doing? The time you're wasting on here, you could have gone out there and started lobbying. Go start doing your little studies. Y'all do all these other studies and want to talk about all these books and all these things what other people talk about. I don't care to talk anymore. I don't. Go be an evangelist. Go be a Jehovah Witness. Happy New Year, Angels Army. I got more respect for the Jehovah Witness. At least they'll go out there and come to you, into your yard, into your neighborhood. Got more respect for the Mormons. They'll get on their bicycles and bike pedal around. I got more respect for the Muslim Brotherhood that stands out there in the middle of the traffic with their newspapers, with their bean pies, selling the news, selling and telling the news. I rather respect those who are actually out there, out and about, putting in their informational work. Well, we're doing that here. No, you're not. You're just propaganda. Y'all been talking about the sexual market for so long, but newsflash, like, what is that honestly doing for you? Nobody believes y'all sexual stories. Nobody believes any of y'all sexual stories. The same people telling all these sexual stories are the same people out here passing around STIs and STDs. All y'all like doing, and I got a lot, man. Y'all who like talking all these sexual stories, y'all also like doing these gender bender wars and stuff. Like y'all people are garbage. Y'all are garbage. Y'all are garbage. I ain't never seen so much horny toads in my life than since I've seen on this place, man. A bunch of pack of animals. Y'all trying to tell other people what their value market is, but no offense to y'all, but I mean, anybody listen when I love reading the comments in other like outside of this space, and when they hear what a lot of y'all do say, they laugh at you. But I'm sure that's why some people stay behind closed veils or where they don't show themselves. All this gender talk, you ain't shaming the dads. You ain't stopping these mothers. You ain't shaming society. Society's devoid of shame. How can you shame society on social media? How can you shame society on social media? The same thing that they make their money on. That's how stupid y'all look. That's why I can't take you serious. You the same dudes that same women that rap about crack, but then get on the pulpit and want to preach about the glory of whatever God you believe in. That's why I said y'all are nothing but YouTube preachers. You clowns. And then it's 2022. You're doing it. You're trying to do it again. Nobody take y'all serious, man. Now y'all got these young people coming around here all with this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to see incels and femicels. And if y'all don't know what they are, let me show y'all. Let me show you. It's very hilarious. Let me show y'all what these spaces are now making. These spaces on social media are making these type of people, men and women, that are like this. Now, first thing, ladies first, it's called a femme Marcel. Now you got to understand. Now, literally, the market now, and these can be ugly women, pretty women, fat women, skinny women. It doesn't matter. But literally, a femicell is now a thing now. It was one thing we were dealing with the wave of incels, but now you're having a wave of femicels. That's why I said social media has now caused human society for these types of individuals to blanket in. That now they believe in a sexual marketplace or a racial marketplace that they're just unworthy. And see, you can see it in the UK, see it on the Revolution. Like it's not just an American; it's happening. I'll say now in second and third world countries, it's not really a thing. First world, more so countries, yeah. Now we're gonna go pull it out, but we don't want to deal with the Urban Dictionary right now. A femicell, and they actually have the femicell revolution. How an underground group of women is reclaiming involuntary celibacy. Now, the goddamn feminism movement has gone in a drastic take that women are now becoming femicels. Dorian had been bullied since middle school. She, because of her looks, people called her fat and ugly and what felt like a ceaseless pace. She didn't feel sexually or romantically desired. Boys didn't treat her the way they did her more attractive friends. Having a sex positive attitude was even tougher growing up in a religious West African immigrant family. Wow. West African immigrant family where she was taught that sex was a sin outside of the marriage. Neither her sister, the pretty one, nor her mom understood she was going through. I didn't have any type of self esteem, confidence. She recalls the world taught me that my worth and value as a female, as a young lady, was connected directly to what I look like. Now, if you honestly were to take this right here, this is literally a lot, like I would say almost 90% of the men in a social media space I used to like to go to. See, you can't make this up. Mind you, this is a West African from a culture. Now they are having the issue. Like I said, it's no longer an in house issue. This is a worldly issue happening. Now, in reading this text, and I wanted y'all to see this, and I wanted y'all to understand this, then now you have it where women, shortly after this experience, Dorian found femicides, a community of women online who describe themselves as unable to have sexual or romantic relationships as a result of toxic blend of misogyny, impossible beauty standards. It's a female take on the male incels, so-called involuntary celibates, who in general feel entitled to sex with women. Boy, this is a whole read by itself. I might read this when I'm on the toilet. This is honestly when I get my best reads in. Now, the term made headlines in 2018 when Alec Minson wrote, "The incel rebellion has already begun" on Facebook, minutes before driving a van into a group of pedestrians, Toronto, killing 10 and injuring 16. Wow. Now, listen, for those of y'all who like run around saying y'all incels, I'm going to let y'all know right now. The world takes it that y'all, this is why I said y'all need to get away from this gender war stuff. Y'all need to seriously stop talking. I don't think y'all in this little bubble. I don't really think y'all know when y'all take on these cell words, the world is not going to receive y'all much like that anymore. I tried telling y'all all these race baiting, all this gender baiting, all these kind of so-called conversations. Y'all don't get. Listen, man. The world's not playing with y'all no more, man. These YouTube preachers and stuff that y'all like doing. The world's not going to frequently deal with y'all much in the same like that. Whatever revolution y'all think y'all going to be on or whatever stuff. Listen, I'm telling you right now, people ain't rocking with y'all like y'all think they do. They do. It's just not. And you might not like the way things go down. You might not. Grant, I get everybody's finding their tribe, but they're trying to find like-minded people. Now we understand the women saying that they want to be celibate. They don't want to have no kids. So if they get pregnant, they don't want to have no kids. They don't want to be. They don't want to have to bear that of having to deal with another life. And you got to wear these gender war incels. You know, these terminology that people like to use online. We got to start asking people like, where are you coming from? Like, what's going on in your life? And so when they start asking you certain questions, They're like calling them angry women or vitriol men. I always like to ask, so what's going on in their life that they have this type of energy going on? Another issue is this like this talking point with race. See, I'm very mindful now when I talk with certain people when they like doing race baiting talking points. I watched a group of men literally on a panel with a man that was making pedophile jokes about raping children. But so long as that man was getting on black people, those black men had nothing to say about him. But these same dudes like doing race baiting conversations. And I always wonder when it comes to the race baiting conversations.
What's up, Beauty?
What's up, Mike? I always wonder when it comes to the race baiting conversations. I don't like to entertain people that I know have already they can look like me, but don't mean that they don't want to have it out for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
don't
a
mind
bunch of
having a
crazy stuff
conversation with
out here.
somebody. There is a bunch of crazy stuff out here, Mike. Like I see, I don't mind. Like me and Mike don't always agree. That's but I could always support him, and we can have really good conversations.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
I said,
because
you know what? Go ahead, Mike.
no, go ahead.
It's we can agree to disagree and have a good dialogue. There's some
Yeah,
things that
because
he talks
it's
about
an
that
honest disagreement.
right.
Yeah, it's
There's
like
no
this is
malice.
what
There's
you
no
believe.
malice.
It's like a respectful. This it's like okay, this is what you believe. It's all good. That's what you truly believe. But like you said earlier, you was like, you know, they talking to somebody, which I talked to the person, but they pissed, but they don't, but they know what's going on. The thing is though, you you crossing a certain line, and then like I don't know if you paid attention to the dude Jason Black. He did a show, and he was highlighting some of the like you was talking about these incels, um, these people who frequent the chats. uh they had these businesses, their failures of this, the failures of that. They talk real tough online, and I guess when things don't work out for them in real life, and this stuff is exposed, you know, they go nuclear, and then they go shooting up folks like the dude in Colorado. So when people start talking crazy, way too past the line, and then he was saying how okay, when the dude went crazy and became newsworthy, and then the mainstream descended on him and started talking about him, everybody who he was connected to or he was supporting, they're trying to erase their internet. You know, Glenn Beck and all of these other famous conservative types. The Manosphere, the white one. Um, this particular guy was all, was frequent over there. But
Mm-hmm.
once he blows up, and then everybody wants to erase their internet, try to pretend like they didn't have anything to do with this guy. But the point is, it's like the signs were there. The signs were there. And then, so, you keep these guys on the panel, these certain types, when people have made like insane statements,
Mm-hmm.
like absolutely dangerous statements, crazy statements. Just like the dude Raji. It's like that mindset. It's like we're starting to see it. It's just like you're saying, you've been in these spaces for so long, you can see like, okay, that's a problem right there. Just like the other dude. I mean, we starting to see these guys go nuclear and become newsworthy. And like, I understand. Like, it's like, dude, we gotta put some distance between you now because right now you're starting to show some crazy signs. Some of these people out here really need help. They really go crazy just because maybe they see some, let's say they see women doing good. They're mad.
I
They
think
see black. Yeah, go ahead.
so. Let me say this, and thank you for your insight, Black conservative. Um, I don't think some of y'all understand. Let me say this, and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna just use this, Black conservative. This is not to you. Race doesn't make anybody obligated to anybody, especially when I do everything for myself and by myself. I pay my own bills while nobody does or has done anything for me. Okay, I'm gonna say something that Chris Rock said. You're supposed to pay your bills. You're supposed to raise your children. It's like the standard things you're supposed to do. Nobody's asking other people to do that for you. Okay? I don't know why y'all think that literally that I'm black and Mike is black. I never asked Mike to pay my bills or my mortgage or my car payment, and he don't ask me to do that either. We can have a local concession of a meeting of, hey man, like we probably need to get X, Y, and Z done for our community. Like, hey man, school's coming up. Let's see if we can get some brothers together to go get some backpacks for kids.
Right.
That
See,
that that
they,
have
they don't see that.
that literally is not asking people, hey, to do that. That's just saying, hey man, let's do something nice because that's out of the generosity of our heart. But y'all think that I don't know why people think that is some type of handout. Peace to the brother Art. That just literally saying that. Now I don't see nobody say, well, y'all want handout. It's not a handout. You know, it's a part of right, Lisa. It's a part of life. Now,
Right.
about it is, see what people understand is when people see two people of the same congregation, um, congregation of race talking. Me and Mike speak from an accountability position. We're two men in the home, two men in our community. We're two men that understand that, hey man, accountability has to be upheld. So that's what we're conserving as men.
Right.
That's what we're conserving. That way of life. If there was an issue of a storm going on outside, you know what I'm saying? And
I wish Black conservative would come up. I
wait
mean,
a
he'd
second.
be a great
Why am I
person.
supposed to do for somebody else's child when
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do everything for and by myself? I take care of my own children when I have them. Now, keyword. Now, I want you to understand this. And what's going on? Oh yeah, shout out to Art. Bam. Listen, this is a dialogue conversation, so anybody can come up respectfully. Um, you know, I always hear people always like to talk about that of what makes America great. You know that, Mike? They always like to talk
Yeah,
about what
that
makes
word personal responsibility, you
right.
know, it's like
So
responsibility. They don't like that term when it comes
so
to certain stuff.
now the thing about it is, and this is where the vitriol, and see, this is where the vitriol of where people say handouts because you know what I'm saying. Um, if you are in my community. And see, this is where those issues do happen, where because somebody's starving, to keep them from going to that desperation, we keep a watch on them. Hey, bro, Mike, I hear that you ain't been getting your hours, or you don't got no job right now. You can come by. You can come out of the grocery
Mhm.
store, man. I could talk to somebody. We can try to get you in on there, because we don't want him to get to that
Right.
desperation where he might be a cancer to the society. We rather make sure that he's good, so that way he doesn't be a
Hmm.
hindrance to society. That's not. And the thing about it, I don't know why when people always think that what you're not taking care of
Right.
somebody. If you got it, you got it. I don't know why it's the same way when y'all be saying, well, God bless America, right? Y'all like saying God bless America, right? Y'all like
Hmm.
paying your tithes and offering. Y'all like talking about the glory of Jesus. And y'all don't have no problem digging in your digging your wallets and giving to the churches or different other organizations, and right? Paying your taxes. But those things still go into society. But then when we're talking about doing, see, that's why I say I don't think some of y'all understand grassroots level. Grassroots level
Right.
is you are your own fundamental society. This is
Right.
why. This is why, and I gotta be for real, black men. But I take it you must be a black man. This is why most of other societies are now looking towards the women than the men,
Mm.
because when it comes to, well,
Yeah.
who's taking care of y'all when you start lacking behind? Well, I would rather grab the men and say, "Yo, let's have a cookout. Any of the kids and people that come through, let's look out for them, make sure that they're good." But y'all rather say, "No, man, I gotta take care of my own." Congratulations, we're gonna make sure your own is good also.
Yep. They're gonna walk away
But
when
you're
when
but
the
you're
times get hard. They walk away.
yeah, like listen, man. And I'm not here to have that time. I'm here to have a dialogue, man.
Right.
Because I want y'all to understand that in 2022, listen, people are now going to start going to the nearest source of power.
Mm.
Individual, listen, we done now seen since COVID, individualism doesn't beat the majority. It never has, and it never will. The individual never beats the majority. Sooner or later, you as the individual, you're going to have to reach out for something. You're going to need another source of power. And we're definitely
I
seeing
mean,
that right now. Go
yeah,
ahead.
that's just the same through all society. It's like this. See, there's nobody. They keep saying that. That's saying nobody lives until an island of themselves, basically. It's like you're going to go to a group. Now, the group that you came up with, your group may be, your team may be on like the losing end or whatever at this point in time. And instead of helping your group to get itself together, you look over and say, damn, that group over there, they got it going on. I'm gonna pretend like I'm on their team. But you're not fooling nobody. When you go over to other groups and try to, basically uh, ingratiate yourself at their dinner table. You're only as valuable, you're only valuable as much as your use to them to get over on your own group. It's like, you can be a spy. So, okay, we'll keep you around. We'll send you back. That way we can get pointers on how to stay dominant. But as soon as your group start to chug itself away and start to kind of make moves on its own, you're not valuable anymore. You see, so that's people just need to understand, like, it's not just about even on the race tip, but on just all factors. If you see stuff that's wrong with where you live, and you know you should try to be a problem solver. That's of something. Of
Right.
course, you got to solve your own problems first, but it's like, dude, like once you take care of your own stuff and you got your own family humming relatively good, it's like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get to a point where you can at least have that good concern about others. That's just
Right.
how we go. That's how life goes.
I think one of the things about it, bro, is this is why, like I said, in Black conservatives, not coming. We're not coming at you. I don't want nobody to think it's coming at them. We're pointing out a point, a talking point. And we listen. Nobody's telling anybody to pick up the slack for other people, but it's called being aware of your surroundings. You see, y'all remember when if a group of kids were playing, right? So let's say a group of kids were playing, and we went over to Mike's house. Is Mike's mama only going to feed just Mike, or she going to feed all the kids that are there? She going to feed
They're gonna
all the
give
kids
everybody
that are there.
something.
Hey, hey, I made a bunch of sandwiches. Y'all kids come here, wash your hands at the sink,
Yep.
and y'all all come get a sandwich and come get a bag of juice, a baggy juices,
Pizza,
pizza. Everybody
juices.
eat.
Yep.
Now, if
And
she now little
BMT, let me
Lisa,
make a point about that real quick. You know
go ahead,
what's
bro.
so funny too? What's so funny too about what you just said is I also once that kind of happens and your friends come up, then when you go to the store, you actually think about your friends.
Mm.
See that? And that becomes a brotherhood. That becomes a that is a little bit of community. And maybe some people didn't have that. I don't know.
No, now the thing about it is this, and see that is true because when I was young, I started buying the fun pack. I could always
Mhm.
have just gotten the big bag of Lay's chips, but I got the fun pack. Sometimes because um my sister would feed the kids in the neighborhood. No, exactly, Lisa. Her sister would feed the kids in the neighborhood. See, the thing about it is, you know what, the thing about it was the other parents knew that was another safe place for my child. That's a safe place for my people. See, you got to ask yourself, and I want you to do a self assessment with some of y'all. Can you say your place is a safe place for other people to come to or come by? Or people actually say, you know what? I can rock with Lisa. I can rock with Mike. I can rock with Alonzo. I know that's a place that I don't mind sending my vulnerable integrity of people around. See, when I say vulnerable integrity, that means you could be easily influenced. So I would want to put them around strong-minded people. See, I didn't mind going over to my friend Sean's house, but I knew his daddy always had work for us to do. Now, sometimes we didn't like the work, but we knew we were going to get paid. Hey, y'all boys,
Yep.
pick up the trash. Pick up the
Hmm.
trash around my yard, and also go to y'all go to my mama's house to pick up her trash. Now we knew
And
not to
pay
suck
you.
our teeth. And oh yes, we got paid $10 each. So that would be
Exactly.
four boys getting paid $10 each. Now they didn't have to. Sometimes they didn't give us money. Sometimes they come there with a bunch of hot dogs, and she come out there with the pot cooker with the chili. We get chili
Hmm.
dogs. We get juice, and we sitting right there. I remember one time he came there with a dirt bike. He said, "Hey, I found this at work. It was broken down, but I fixed it up." So we had a neighborhood dirt bike to ride on. Now he didn't have to do that. He could have just threw that in the trash. And I'm telling y'all, see, I'm trying to show y'all that of what made the culture in the village intact.
See, a lot of them
Because
don't have that. That's what it is.
and so the thing about it was, we knew when one of us had a car, guess what? The ones of us that were riding on the bus, we weren't riding on the bus. We all rolled with either Sean or we rolled with me. We could pile up six of us in one vehicle, and the other seven of us could pile up in the other vehicle because he had a van, and we could all go to school. Nobody was late. Everybody made it. People can get their clothes on. Everybody got there on time. Hey, if y'all got practice, guess what? I'm gonna be staying at the. You see the thing about it, and we all knew. Guess what? One rule we all had in line: everybody had to put down $2 a week for gas.
Hmm. Yep.
Gas was cheap back then, so don't judge me. But guess what? We gas the tank was good. The tank was good. We all make sure that we
Yep.
worked at the same place: Subway, McDonald's, Taco Bell. I work. If you work right there, if you at the school, you walk right there to your job. When you got off from school, you go right there and make sure everybody was good. But see, that's why I'm saying some of these things we worked our way up to adults to where we are. Like, I'm not gonna say life was perfect, but we understood. And this was not somebody. What's going on, brother Mike V? That listen, man. In this way of how we're doing things, man. But you had some type of system, or if you didn't have a system, and this is something that I gotta ask you, sister. I gotta ask some of y'all. Do y'all know how to make your own system on how to
See,
survive?
that goes to welfare because the sister was talking about how she struggled, her sister struggled, but she still helped other people, and it just shows you how this what is when we talk about this the ills of so-called welfare. It's like the community was welfare. It kind of naturally happened for survival reasons, and like when you replace it, you got these people out here thinking that everybody's supposed to be just like on their own, just each one for himself, dog eat dog. You know what I'm saying? The top dog, the top the top dog takes the cake and everything. That's not really how people actually survive, even before welfare or whatever. If you go to these other countries that don't have welfare, that's why they have more community. That's why they are more comfortable. You go to maybe the Chinese restaurant or anybody's restaurant or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to see them folks working there, and that's normal. But we need to understand, like, this is not what you say handouts. This is not begging. People are working. Your friends, if they have a problem, they grew up with you. Now you have somebody you trust. Now you have another family member who's maybe you can't tell, your mom can't tell you, hey man, you know what I'm saying, this is what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? And somebody there to help you out, whatever. That's what it is. That's kind of how problems get solved. And people just need to understand that that's normal instead of thinking like this is like pathetic or something. I don't know what people think.
No. Let's get at that. Let me get at that. Right now, what we have it is between the welfare system versus the community system, and I'm gonna have to do a versus battle against that. I'm gonna be for real. I would rather trust the welfare system before I trust any of y'all systems. Because when I hear some people say the shaming tactic of people reaching out saying, hey man, I hit a situation, and I gotta be for real. See, you don't truly know the beguiles of the situation of somebody, what people go through. But then when you become an adult, you really start seeing things a lot differently.
Yeah.
And see, and that's the thing about this is why, Mike, I'm starting to see this race and gender and religious proxy. Because when you have a cultural system or community system, it catches that, keeps it up. So we can help you along your way. See, sooner or later, you can drive your car, but you got to replace the brakes. You got to replace the filter. You got to replace the fluid. You got to do your tune-ups. So your car is going to have some breakdown points. I never met a car that doesn't have that.
Yeah, wear and tear.
It's going to have wear and tear. Now, thing about that is, so we're somehow meeting the illustrious elite of people that never have these problems. I don't have this problem. I work every day of my life and I pay everything. Stop, bro.
And we know that's a lie.
We know, and see
because
that,
we know
and it's
some
like,
of these people. It's
it's
like
like,
you know some of these people in real life. They
right,
talk the same, but then you know them this type of person in real life. And I know, like I got people that's talk real good and they all perfect almost. They look perfect, but then when they had their breakdown points, because we grew up together, I'm the go-to person, and I have no problem with that. They'll never their secrets will never be revealed. But at the same
right,
time, I can hear this same kind of talk out of people who I don't know, and they have similar experiences because they haven't, the same pressures on them. So I already know that these people ain't perfect. They got these issues with the marriage and problems, and no matter how much money, it's not about the money because the money is just one level for us. It's like once you
right.
get the little money, is now you got these other pressures, and you don't have these solutions right away. You need some, venting points, or you need some, just different things, that you may need. So yeah, I mean, it's like these people ain't fooling no damn body except themselves.
No, right. So the thing about it is this, man. You're having it where some people, because like I listen to a lot of you brothers, I do, and I hear y'all talk about. I hear a lot of the stuff talking about from the brothers about that of the woes of the women. And back in the day, back in the day, back in the day, back in the day, back in the day. And I said, if you can't make it now, how are you gonna make it? How you gonna if you can't make it now, how you gonna make it back in the day? I gotta just be real. I gotta be real with them, Mike. Majority of these men that we see coming on around us, they don't have no viable life skill. They don't
Mm-mm.
know how to do nothing in the land. They don't know how to do nothing actually. If I were to say, hey, go out, I'm gonna give you 3 days, man. I'll give you a knife. I'll give you a water filtration system. Good luck. These same dudes
Survive.
probably still being point A.
You're trying
Whatever
to
I
eat some
found.
grass. They be boiling grass. Or if they can boil, can they start a fire?
Oh, so I probably say I got to be honest. And then you'll hear, well, if the family was intact, the family was intact, if the family was intact, if the family was intact. But it seemed like, well, you're a grown man. What's your excuse now? What's your excuse now? You're a grown man. I've seen some people come from foster care and live the most successful life, while some people come from a two-parent household and they live the
Right.
most crappiest lives. And I'm
Mm.
not trying to, I'm not, this is no bash for the two-parent household because I run one. But I also understand that guess what? Of my children, one of them could fail. They
Mm-hmm.
all could fail. As soon as you become an adult, right? It's up to you. It's up to you to what you choose to do with your life. Like I saw one family member complain, complain. Y'all, it's y'all fault. The reason why I did heroin, and I sat there eating my rice and greens, and somebody replied, "Well, who was shooting? Who helped you tie up your arm and why you shot up? Who was there when you was doing that? Y'all could have came and got me." Oh, at
See,
some
that stuff you
point,
say. Yep, that's the kid. That's the childlike mind talking.
it's a child like mind talking. That's a child like mind talking. How many times must we do the bailout plan? And you see, at some point, and see, nobody ever like talking about that. Where after a while, the family just says, you know what? He has to feel. She has to feel. I know. See, but y'all get mad at the culture of mama and daddy that want to help the child. Y'all say, well, they don't got no culture, they don't got no family. But then y'all forget about the ones who, regardless of how jacked up they get, they'll keep on trying to help them because it's in
Right.
ingenuity to them. That's my child, that's my family, that's my relative, that's my people. The others will say, no, they need to go through it.
And you know what's so funny, BNT, when you said that, like I have a family member who had, I think a lot of us have these type of situations. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you'll have a bunch of the parents will have a bunch of kids, and then be like that one, maybe that two, that just kind of they just got to go to wild side. They're just more comfortable, drugs, whatever. That's just no matter how much education this one got or whatever, no matter how much church, no matter how much spirituality teaching, it's like this one right here, they want to hang on the wild side, and nothing that that parent can do. But like you said, the parent, especially the mama, continues to go try to bail them out. They go and encounter some crazy situation. Somehow they survive it. There's mama, there's dad. And it's funny when that goes on for decades. And
Right.
that individual kid looks like a failure. But sometimes that kid is the one that ends up taking care of the parents more when
Mm.
when the parents need help. And the other successful kids, the other successful people, they don't have that desire to as family. They don't want to take in mom or dad. They don't want to live with mom or dad. They don't want to, take care of the daily needs or help them out when they need because they're elderly now. But it's that one. I'm noticing it was that one that was looked at as a spoiled brat or somebody who just always had a problem. They're there. They might be, taking a little extra out of mama's checkbook or, or spending a little extra every now and then, but they make sure things get done, and the other kids are off somewhere. They just want to put the parent in old folks home. So I just thought that
You
was
know,
interesting because that happened. Hmm.
no, but you know what, Mike? Listen, I don't think people understand taking care of somebody costs money, and that's out of their
Yeah.
time. And they make it seem like you're supposed to just do that out the generosity, which you are doing out the generosity, but it's still compensation. And a lot of people go damn well near broke, um, trying to do it. My mom asked me. She said, "When I get old, but she's now getting much older, just like my father.
Mm.
Don't put me in old folks' home."
Yeah.
She said, I have all successful children. Y'all, please don't put me in old folks' home." And she wasn't laughing when she said that. Though we were laughing, but she was not laughing. But she
Yeah.
understand that I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I don't want to go there. She's been a CNA before. She's worked in the hospital
Hmm.
before. She's worked.
Yeah.
I mean, right now she's running a trucking business. But sometimes she has her time where I'm like, Rose, did you just do that? She said, oh, I'm getting older. And I said,
Yeah.
go sit down. But I also now, as I usually call myself her prodigal child.
Mm.
If you know the story of the prodigal child, people understand what that means when I say that to her. But the thing about it was, though I know I gave her the most grief, I can promise you, this woman can call me day or night, and I will drive 45 minutes to an hour to come get my mother.
Hmm.
I will go there because that's my mama. I only got one. And if I
Hmm.
say, listen, get in the car, Rose, you come with me. See, that's the culture I set up. She'll never have to ever wonder where she's going to rest her head. She'll never have to run to that. Because as long as I have food and bed and shelter, her and her dumbass dog can stay in my house. But see,
That's right.
That's the culture that she knows, and that's not me saying that she's getting a handout. That's not me holding any kind of past vitriol of things back in my past as a child. Well, why'd you do this? Why? I don't got time for that. I'm a grown man. See,
Right.
the thing, we didn't have it easy, Mike, and that's why I respect you because you're like, yeah, those things happen, but guess what? We understand that, yo, man, we got to do better than I always wonder. People like to talk about the past,
Yeah.
but I always ask y'all: are y'all trying to better,
Or
be better,
duplicate.
or duplicate? What
Mm.
you think about that? Like, are they trying to be better
Nah.
or duplicate? But everybody doesn't have the same imagery of the past was so good, and everybody don't have the
Right.
same imagery of, oh well, we were like this, we were like that. They don't like to look. They like to pick and choose parts of what they. It's like this is a dementia minded area.
Yeah. I'm
So
gonna say shout out to SKC's in the chat. He wanted to talk. He wanted to talk to me about the argument between the pro blacks and the I don't know what they would call themselves, but the people who
y'all had a
disagreed,
good.
I guess.
Y'all had a really good, thorough conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only y'all two could have it at that type of chess level. Only y'all could have it at that chess level.
No, but I listened to some of SK's content. He's pretty interesting, pretty good. The thing is though, that's my thing. My thing is like this. You nothing is really yours, nothing is really ours unless you control it, unless you own it. Your family, your culture, our family, our culture can only truly, if it's not controlled, if it's not controlled by us and what we would consider the people who love and care about, the community, you know, then it's not our culture. We can't have, to me, if you got other people dictating, like with other systems, they get to control like who gets money and who doesn't, who gets to live in the old folks home, who doesn't, how the old folks home is ran. Because, I don't, I think my wife works in I guess a senior assistant type thing too. And yeah,
Mhm.
she don't, that's not a good place. But, who controls those type of places? It's not us. And,
Right.
before those places existed, people used to get 100 years old, 110 years old, some of them 120 years old sometimes. Where were they living? They were living with their family, you know. So it's just like if you if we're supposed to be conservatives, you know, that's a tradition. That's a tradition that we should conserve because it keeps the family together and it shows everybody that, the sanctity of life. So now, you got people just wanting to get rid of everybody, get rid of the baby. Oh, it's a problem. Just kill it. Don't worry about it. You got, oh, dang, mama's dysfunctional. She can't take care of herself no more. Oh, just throw her away. These people
Right.
will get rid of her for you. Just pay these people. They'll do the dirty job for you so you don't have to see it. It's the same thing. If you want to eat meat, just say you eat cows or whatever you eat. Who's out there going to fish for themselves? Kill that fish, cut it up, fillet it. Nobody wants to do the dirty job. Just go buy it already readily made. So this society, as the society breaks down, where it's more expensive to do everything. I mean, maybe we're gonna have to see. Nobody's gonna be able to pay their way out of life because I don't think we're really living real life. We're living like something else, some kind of a matrix thing.
No, I think. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, So here's the thing about it. Back in the day, people were more intact on like suicide has gone up
Yeah.
because people can't deal with the stressors, like how we we were just built differently.
Hmm.
So when I hear some people complain about this and that, I said, then why y'all talking about 1950, 1940s? Y'all would have been them blowing your brains out a long time ago.
Jumped off the building.
Y'all would have jumped off the building.
You remember that movie Queen? With
Mm-hmm.
remember that movie Queen? What's the
Mm-hmm.
name? With damn, what's her name? Anyway, yeah, she was she was able to pass. So she
Everybody
was able
can't.
to pass for a while. So she was able to pass for a while, so she was accepted in another society. But when she wasn't able to pass for a while, she had to go back to her old family.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because you
Halle Berry.
can't live by yourself. Yeah, Holly Berry. Yeah, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't live everything is not about you, your own self, and alone forever. That's just not how this thing really works.
Right. And see, the thing about it is this: whatever begrudgment of stuff y'all got going on, I'm telling y'all,
Hey,
before the
get that
start of
cat
this
food
year,
from out the front.
before the start of this year, y'all might want to start making peace with some of y'all demons. No, and I have to. You know why I say that? The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying because this year people are going to be tested. If you barely made it through 2021, because they're already talking about doing lockdowns again.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot.
They're
We
already
talk
talking.
about that. Yup.
They're already talking about that, and so in a realistic way, all this talking point, I'm hoping you got somebody for the lockdown culture. See, I want you to understand. Some people don't mind the lockdown. Like they pretty set in their ways. Like, oh, well, I got this, I got that, I got my culture set up. So guess what? We good.
Yup.
Some of y'all that like to spew down on how other people get by. See, they understand that. Guess what? Our culture dome survived the lockdown, so
Hmm.
we can handle that. But see, the thing about it is, can you, individual man, this ain't this you see, you're
See,
not
when your
somebody.
business start when your business start going down a little bit,
We're
that's
gonna
when it
see.
gets rough.
You know
Because
what
the
I'm saying.
stock's
Listen,
going down.
you're gonna see this. The reason why that's why I said what I'm saying, man. Like a lot of people following these propagated um um norms of y'all need to women are about money, men are about sex, this and this and this and this. So when y'all listening to these people with the pitchforks, I gotta ask yourself the question: are they living like that?
Mm.
Are they in that same predicament you are? When they're telling you to just eat bread and drink water, are they sitting at home just eating bread and water, or are they sitting home suckling, eating ham and sweet bread and
Getting
you got to
fed grapes by
you know what I'm saying?
getting fed grapes and getting feathers, ran up the body and stuff.
Yeah, like you see, and that's the thing about it, I'm always yeah. See for a while now. Some of these YouTube preachers and people on social media, they've been saying one thing, Mike, but they
Yeah, because Kevin,
living a
nobody
whole
live like
different life.
that. Look at Kevin. Like I said, once your stuff gets exposed, you get big time. People can really check up on you. It
Mm-hmm.
things change. Things change. But you got people out here. You telling people one thing because it makes money. I guess people this
Mm-hmm.
like a dreamland. Nobody lives like that. Nobody lives perpetual. I mean, well, I'll say it like this: there may be some people actually trying to live like that, but they're not prominent, and they're unhappy, perpetually mad at this group or perpetually angry at especially the gender stuff. Nobody gonna live like that, and
Now,
domineering. I've seen people when they're in their household when I guess they try to prove you come over their house and they want to prove that they are the boss of their house. They want to bark at their kids, bark at their wife or something. And then, of course, they end up divorced within a year and a half,
right. What reason were
crying.
you doing that, bro?
And people was
What
trying to
reason were you
tell
doing
you,
that, bro?
huh?
I be looking at them like they the
Yeah,
goof of that. Like, mm-mm.
exactly. Like I'm sitting, like, dude, it's one situation. I'm at my homie house. His wife, beautiful woman, she's nice and her kids and everything, but he wants to kind of scream at her in front of us. We guessed, bro. What are you doing, bro? That was like, those type of things. You don't do that kind of stuff. But they were. I'm the man in the house. Is she all right? Like, okay, bro. Of course, man. She trying to take my kid. She mad, and now he mad, and so this, you gotta. It's like stuff has to actually work. You can't be telling people stuff that is in theory what you believe should be. That stuff has to actually work nowadays. Just yeah. And there's a lot of different ways to live that will work, but you can't, telling people that this is how it should be. You know, just the woman just obey because you have a penis, so that's enough for her to just obey you. Just she
Mm-hmm.
should just obey whatever your rule is. That's it. There's no compromise. This is okay. So how's it working for you? Well, I'm not married. Okay. Oh, you live with your woman. You've been living with your girlfriend for 10 years. Well, no, she don't live with me. You know, I pick up my kid, my three baby mamas. I mean, like, okay, really? This is how you want me to live? That's not family. That's lies.
But
So,
why? But see, here's the thing about it is. But see, the situation is this, and this is something I always had a like. People always turn. Shout out to Sir Ism. Much love to you, brother. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Shonda. Happy New Year, D. Happy New Year. I love you guys. And I have this. I don't have like these conversations of where people want you to be angry,
right.
like, or have these types of stuff. Like they don't work in the survival aspect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Every,
I'm gonna tell you, I got to be
go ahead.
real. Like here, okay. So let's say you have an all group of men.
Mhm.
Okay, there's no women there.
See,
How do
that's the
y'all
problem right there. But go ahead.
how
I
how
don't know
long
how
do y'all
long.
how long y'all plan on lasting? How long y'all plan on lasting? I always plan that out when we have a whole group of men. So what y'all going? How y'all reproducing?
What are you protecting?
What like you just defeated yourself. Now
Yeah, right there, you're dead. What? See,
you,
that's the whole
that's why
point of the
y'all be
men is to protect
acceptable.
something. She's supposed to. She's going to be a lot, and often, if you're men, you're going to secure an area so maybe it's safe for the family, right? That's what I think. The man's going to secure his home so it's safe for his family. But a lot of these
And
guys, they want to dominate women. They got to prove themselves. I've dominated her. Okay.
now let me say this. So and I love y'all input. So let me get this out. Okay, so Black Conservative always puts it out. And some really good stuff he puts out. I like reading it. Collectives
Mm,
do not work. They only benefit people on the receiving end of things. People have to learn how to be individuals and be by themselves. And that's how mature adults do it. Okay,
Mm,
so let's look at that. When y'all say does an individual or do they say nation?
collective.
See, now a
That
nation is a
collective.
collective. That's a collective. When I saw a lot of y'all black people wearing no MAGA hats saying let's make America great, y'all weren't talking about the individual. Y'all talking about the collective.
Come here, cat.
Y'all talking about the collective. Now the situation is this: as you get older, you won't be able to do the same things you think you're doing that you think you're able to do. I've
Exactly.
I've never I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I'm gonna show y'all some.
Darwinism.
I'm gonna show you exactly.
The mhm.
Darwinism is gonna.
Survival of the fittest. You old,
I'm
you die.
okay. Let me show y'all this real quick. Let me show y'all this real quick. Okay. So I'm gonna show y'all. Um, and I want y'all to tell me, can this person? Hang on, let me make sure I get it correctly for y'all. Make sure I'm gonna because I want y'all to understand the frailty of. Hopefully, you built you a team. Jordan can be the greatest NBA player.
Yep.
So can LeBron. Put LeBron on that court versus six college basketball players. Can LeBron beat them? No.
Nope.
They'll keep the ball away from him all the time. They'll keep him out of there all the time. He might make some back it, some balls. He'll score some, but he won't. He's not going to beat them college. Hell, he won't beat them high school students.
High school students.
The high school student. See, you don't understand. You can be the greatest individual, but I can promise you, I could. We can make you the greatest individual and give you the equipment versus we can take some people who understand at the basic level of farming. I promise you, they'll get more done than you. You'll
You
have
see,
to rest.
let me see, BNT. This is what I'm seeing. I'm starting to really see. It's just like magic, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
we know anything about what they tell us about magic, magic. They say like a witch might put a spell on you.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they put the spell on you? They say the same word over and over and over and over. They keep saying it. Individualism, individualism. Collectivism doesn't work. Collectivism doesn't work. And pretty soon, even though it's not actually true, it becomes true to that person because it's
Mm-hmm.
being said over and over and over again. So these people can actually live in a collective system, such as a country called America.
Mm-hmm.
They can go to work in a collective system, such as a corporation or a company that gets loans and pays taxes and has a board of directors, which is a collective system. They could it's just like they can see it all over the world. They can look at other countries, other nations, even Amazon. They may have a CEO, but they still have a board of directors, you know, you know, all that. But when you talk to that person, even though they've benefited and they've seen collectivism in actual action, they will tell you because that spell has been put in their mind over and over again. Collectivism doesn't work. Collectivism doesn't work. They just keep hearing it over and over again, and they don't stop and actually look at how stuff is done. The founding fathers, it was an S on there. It was multiple folks. It was an army, a constitution. They had to get it right. How did that happen? They had to ask others. They had to come together, collective action. So this is what I'm like. It's kind of hard to deal with people who are in a spell. But I mean, I do believe you undo a spell. You undo a spell by just saying the truth over and over again too. So it's just propaganda. A lot of people, and all of us, I guess, on some level, we under some sort of spell. So we all gotta be careful.
I think one of the things about it is this, and I mean, and shout out to can a collective be considered a community? How much of a collective? How much is a collective defined? And see, that's a very interesting way to put. When you ask about that, thank you. Um, the thing about it is, your collective would be your community. Let's take
Hmm.
for instance of that of how everybody likes to look at Rick Grimes and The Walking Dead. If you've ever seen it, and his group or his collective group, that was his family. His family, though it may be two or three or five or whatever, that was his collective. That was his tight knit group. They knew each other. They knew each other's strengths, weaknesses. They understood that he lost his wife. So the other mothers picked up the slack, but you didn't see Rick running around with a baby. Guess what? When he was out there out and about, somebody else was watching the baby. See? Y'all gotta understand.
See,
Y'all, these things right here, that where these nuances of talking points, or where people, I get that, yeah, can you do things by yourself? I've been there in that work street mind of, yeah, it's me versus the world. I've had that happen, and I do get in that tunnel vision. But at times, you start to look at the people or the individuals who are by themselves.
hmm
But see, this is not me trying to indoctrinate or try to get y'all, because see, sooner or later it starts to click. It clicks.
Well, that's what I'm saying because you got to look at how it's actually working in life. See, to me, a collective is like this. A collective can exclude you, right? Let's say you want to work somewhere. No, they tell you no. Let's say I want to move into this community. I want to move into this area.
Hmm.
The neighborhoods, they collectivize against you and say, we don't want you. Take your ass out of here.
Right.
So that's how there's a like-minded group of people doing something, or at least they got some kind of culture going on. They just got something going on. It could be a family, it could be a church. You see what I'm saying? And then it could
Hmm.
be those churches could link together and form an even greater collective. So that's kind of that's what the goal of human power is. It's like you get your family together and then you go out there and find out who else has got their family together. Okay, let's kind of share experiences and work with each other. Then from there, so there's people out here doing things already. And so that's a collective. You can actually form a formal collective, or you can just be, just look at the tribes, study humans, study people all over the world. You know, this is what's going on. And the thing is, the only problem with black people is we are a collective, but we we're too many of us. I'll say it like this: too many of us who've had this similar experience in this country. Our parents had the similar experience. Their parents. It goes back generations. That's what causes Black Americans, even though you might be on the West Coast, East Coast, if you descend from this group, you have a collective experience, set of experiences. Everybody has their own individual experiences, of course. So we don't want to get stupid. Of course you got to take care of yourself on that level. But once you've taken care of your own individual, uh, you got to eat. Don't you got to find a place to live? You got to sustain yourself. You got to take care of your personal family. Once you got that humming pretty good, then it is good for you to do like people like Martin Luther King or Booker T. Washington, those great ones who they took care of their personal family, then they start looking out for the group. That's what people do.
Mm-hmm.
That's how stuff works. And people who keep denying that, you will not. So if you don't believe there's a collective, then you won't operate like there's a collective, and you'll always, when you get into these spaces, you'll be the loser. You go to bid against the Mexicans. Let's say you want some work. If two Mexicans come there, you
I
already
don't
know
think
you lost
I
or
don't think
whatever.
this
I'm just
person. I don't think
Mhm.
black conservative gets it, and I think he's dealing with something
I mean,
deeper.
it takes time for them to get it.
But no, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Um, um,
Like if I
I
go
don't think. I don't
somewhere,
think. I don't
remember
like.
even Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby said this. He was like, "I'm tired of losing to white guys." This man over $400 million individual. Bob Johnson said he did not want to sell BET, but it was basically like a hostile takeover. He was put in a position where it just, because of his suppliers, because of the people that were pressuring him to sell to Viacom, it didn't make sense to fight them. So he had to sell. FUBU, all of these, Def Jam. These are individuals who do good, but what happens is you're not going to win against a collective. They can always just take your stuff when they choose because they have a collective. You see,
Yeah,
and this is the
I
thing
would. I
that
would love
black.
to see, but see, that's the thing about it is
Mhm.
you have it where Mike, you'll see these movies where everybody believes that they're Rambo.
You see,
Everybody believes that they're John Rambo, and that they
yeah,
could
see
somehow
that.
beat the
I don't have a
collective.
problem with other races. Other races, you
Like
don't have to
somehow,
have a
yeah,
problem with them.
like somehow y'all are taking out a whole village by
Yeah,
yourselves.
they don't see it.
Yeah, we all see it,
Eh.
and that's never
Because are
been
they
done.
doing business though? Because I know you've done it, BMT. You go out there, you try to let's say I don't know what you do in construction, you try to get this, I don't know, maybe contract with the city or something. I don't know. It,
You're
it
not
ain't
gonna beat.
easy if
Listen,
you got
I'm gonna tell you right
mm-mm,
now. So I'll put it like this: me by myself, I'm not gonna beat 4 Arabs.
mm-mm.
Me by myself, I'm not gonna beat 4 Arabs because two of them can outbid me. One can underbid me. Uh-oh. You can't keep on switching your bid. Now those four, no matter what, they're all gonna get the work.
Yep.
They're all gonna get the work. We're gonna do. Oh well, I guess I'll just go another one. Oh, guess what? So the one person got that contract. Well, let's repeat the process again. One
Yeah.
overbids
And they'll
me,
follow you.
and they'll follow you, and they'll just block you out.
Yeah.
Now the other two, they'll just do it. So now those are 3 jobs right there that they took from me. The next job, I'll have to take whatever I can get because at that
Yep.
point, the other one, he's still eating
Scraps.
because he can go to these 3 plus whatever me and him bid for, and then after that, he can go for that one too.
Yep. And then his wife and stuff, they're doing the paperwork, they're doing the taxes. They're back there
So
making sure all of the paperwork is
yeah,
submitted.
this is the thing about it. The individual, yeah, you can win. And you see, the problem is this is the problem about it. I always ask this of the black individual. Why do you come around the community if you're out?
Right.
If you're out,
They are because they're tied to us.
no, but
They
see,
are,
no. But you're
yeah.
out. But you're
They don't
out.
want to admit it though. Yep, I
But you're
know.
out. See, you see, when you're out, if you're out, you're out. I don't know what goes on in the hood, but I'm not in the hood. If I'm in the hood, if I'm keeping up with the hood weekly, then I mean I'm not out. Telling me what you're doing with your life, if it has no inconsequential, like when somebody says, I don't know why y'all deal with women are this, women are that, but I'm like, are you dealing with a woman?
Stay celibate.
Well, no, I'm not because the system. Well, hold on. Why are you talking to me? We got nothing to talk about. We
Like,
got
how
nothing
much
to talk about.
content do we do? BMT, how much content do we do on Australia? The Aborigines and the problems with whatever's going on there.
That's all them.
Okay, so what's
Whatever
going
going
on
on
with
over here, whatever
what's
going on
going
over there,
on with
that's
the Shawnee Sioux tribe over there in I don't know, in northern Potomac in Province County or some stuff, province in Ottawa County. We don't know what the hell's happening over there because we it's not our business. Like we don't be looking at their business like that. Like how much stuff do we do on Mexico? I don't know. We
I don't
really
know.
don't. We
I think
yeah.
that's the thing about like other people say, well, I don't have a problem with other races. That's cool. Neither do I. Listen, do I? I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't have a problem with them, but
I don't have
if they
a
have a
problem.
problem with
I
me,
care about what
if
I do
they
with my race.
yeah.
I care about what I do with my race. Why do you care what I do with my race? Tell me about that. You're an individual. The individual. Here's the thing about here's the thing. Here's the beauty about when you're an individual. You don't need to tell us you're an individual. You actually don't need to tell us you exist. What we do, and I maybe need to do a stream for the individual. When you're the individual, you got to be like them. See, I like them old kung fu movies. Mike, them old kung fu
Mm,
movies. The hermit don't say shit when the village is talking. The hermit
mm,
gets his bottle of liquor and sits his ass in the corner away from us while we're talking about whatever we're doing. You, as the hermit or whatever you are, conserve your way of life in that corner or in the mountains away from us. That's where you belong, up there. When we do what we
mm.
do down here, you're a hermit up there. Don't tell us what you're doing because we don't care what you're doing. Unless some kid wanders up there to entertain you, we're down here. So what Mia
The
might do
hermit.
in the village, yeah. Unless we send somebody up there to bring you some food or something. Other than that, and then see that's the thing, if we feel charitable to bring you some food. But
Right.
usually, if you don't want to be bothered, you shouldn't have nothing to say what we do. But notice the individuals like to always want to put their input in. I'm not with y'all. Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to
It's
me?
like this. It's like
Go out.
this. People have been told something. It's like people have been told something in the day, and anything that goes counter to what I guess they've been told to believe, they need to attack it so that they can keep believing. I guess something else. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. And maybe even if they don't attack it verbally, they have to say that it's not true in their mind, because excuse me, it's challenging. It's basically challenging the foundation of what they've been believing in. It's almost like if somebody come and start telling you the truth about your religion or something, and you've been believing it all your life, and you get this little feeling in your stomach and your soul, like, damn, you're right. Oh God, my whole God is wrong, or whatever. It's like you really get it's a hurtful feeling to be faced with the truth of something that, like, from your very soul and your very foundation, you have been believing that it was incorrect, and then you actually do believe what they're saying. That's the problem. Like, in your soul, you literally believe what they're saying, but you have to fight that. You have to say you don't believe it because you don't want to give them a victory, or you don't want to accept the truth. And that's why I said it takes time, because because people have to keep living. It's just like you just have to keep working, doing it. Like you said, we got to set up some agendas, try to help people. Like I was talking to when I showed a clip at the end of my one of my little live streams, how it was showing how after the 60s, when the black people they had the problems with Martin Luther King, and they had all these riots and all this turmoil in the 60s in America. And what ends up happening is the white people had to leave a lot of the cities. The white people basically just left. It was like, we leaving, y'all. Y'all can have it. So the black folks, a lot of them didn't understand what to do with that. That was actually like a technical victory as far as a military style victory, but black folks didn't understand that because we was thinking like they're supposed to stay with us and we just all supposed to be happy. But what they was doing is just letting y'all have it. But I guess the more intelligent, I guess when I say intelligent, I would say the more technically technically connected folks who was into information and politics, they literally left the community and maybe the soldiers, the uh, I guess the warrior class, the the grunts, of course they stayed, but they didn't have the technology and the patience to develop the community property. So you have ghettos, and so these are the type of things we just need to understand. It's like even though we may debate about certain things, the job still has to get done. If it doesn't get done in one generation, it's got to get done in the next generation. Because what ends up happening is you have to grow. Now you have to grow your own loyal intellectuals, and that takes what, 30 years, 40 years to grow some intellectuals.
Mhm.
You got to grow them up because the ones that was available, they decided to take positions and to pretend like they were individuals just because they. But nowadays, that's not. I don't know if that's working for them so much because they're getting fired from a
You
lot of
know,
these places.
but the thing about it is, I always find this very funny. When these individuals start to get, when their time starts to close, they somehow always want to reach back
Well, they don't
for
have
the
nowhere
group.
else to go. They have
They
nowhere
always
else
want
to go, really.
they always want to reach back for the group to grab them or pull them up or some kind of crazy
Right.
nuance and stuff.
Just
They
like
always
Byron
want some.
Allen. Byron
It's
Allen is
always
actually the perfect example. He's literally the perfect example of that. Byron
coming
Allen,
back.
he, he got to come back because, see, look, Byron, he literally from Detroit, he born in Detroit because of the riots. His parents, his mama left, but then she went to LA, which was riots there too. So anyway, he grows up, and what ends up happening, he gets rich, right? He's all in this. He goes out here, marries his, Becky, which is, that's what he wants to do. But he's in his mind, he's separate. He's an individual. He got it going on. He's a what, billionaire now, almost a billionaire, near probably 500, $600 million or whatever he got. He owns the Weather Channel. He's Byron Allen. But he still made money doing black jokes, but he kind of did his black jokes on white shows. But the point is, when he wants to get something really done, black folks, help me out. I need y'all to protest for me. This is racist what they're doing to me. They won't let me put my commercials on their little TV shows. So this is what we were just talking about. When black people start to try to get into business, you're starting to try to level up your community. You're not an individual no more because you can't do it alone. You can't compete out here with these folks. What's
Now I
going
got a
on,
question.
Hood?
Now I got a question. Hang on. Let me ask a question. Hey, David. Um, why do y'all hang out with that? Why do y'all hang out with the dude? Why do y'all hang out with that pedophile joke guy? I know who Black Conservative Boy Guise is. I know who he is. Actually, I looked up his IPS address. I want to know, why do the blacks that get on the other blacks? Why do y'all hang out with the dude that makes pedophile jokes about having sex with kids? I want to ask that question. I want to understand the black conservatives. Why do y'all hang out with a person that literally joked about sticking his penis into babies, but y'all are against abortion, but y'all are on panels with men that joke about having sex with babies? I'm not going to talk
There's
about the
no,
black part. I mean,
yeah.
I'm very curious about that. No, and that's very interesting, Doug. Now that's ironic. The same people that are against abortion,
Well, BMT,
but
he said he
but
was
they
trying
sit
to
on the
find
panel. What?
out. He was trying to. He did it for a reason. He was trying to find out something as an experiment, and he found out what he was trying to find out. So
That we know he's a pedophile?
I don't know what he was trying to find out. I was just like, that's what I was talking about earlier. I was like, you know, people cross the line. You got to be careful
No, no,
because
no, 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 no. I know you talk about. Dave. I get you talk about all kind of stuff, but I'm just curious. Why are y'all on a panel with a guy? Y'all know who he is. You're not stupid. I know who he is. Even though he changed, I mean, unless some of y'all blacks are that stupid. I mean, oh no, no, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna let this asshole go with the Constitution. Like we know who that fuck that gulag that motherfucker is. Why are y'all on a panel with the guy? If I play the audio of what he was saying on y'all panel, and I play the audio, and Mike, you've heard him on their panels on
yeah, I
different
talked
other.
to him. He was over there. I was over there.
So we're curious. Why are y'all hanging out with a guy who jokes about fucking kids? I'm I'm very I don't want the year to go by. I mean, y'all, you can come up because you like I just want to know. But don't worry, I'm going to ask all of y'all that question. SKC had him on his panel. You know what I'm saying? I want to know why are y'all on panels with dudes who talk about fucking kids? Let's not even talk about the racial part. Let's just talk about why he like. You know what I'm saying? He was on his panel crying like a bitch. Like I just want to know.
Wow. Somebody else made worse jokes.
No, 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 no. We're not asking about. Listen, I don't know who the fuck the other people are. We're not see this is that deflection shit. This is that deflection shit. See, I never made those jokes. I've never made those type of jokes. Mike has never made those jokes about anything with doing anything to
You
children.
know, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what I told him, BMT.
So,
I'm gonna tell you what I told him.
so
But
wait.
let me say
So
something.
this
Let
is
me
how
tell.
they
Hold on,
validate hanging with pedophile like
no, no,
people now.
BMT. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I let me tell you what I told the individual. Me myself, I have zero problem with even the racial stuff he said. I don't. I mean, he said that on his panel. I don't have a problem with other communities. I don't care what they talk about. They could. I don't really care that much. You know, it's a footnote, but to me, he's on his panel. He's allowed to talk about the racial stuff, all that. That is not an issue at all for me because that was his panel. But when that's because when I first heard it, but when I had to address, like I said, that was just way too far. It was way past any line. It was like, no, no, I can't even. And it didn't make me really angry. It was just like, dude, this right here is dangerous. And then when I asked him, I said, why don't you just apologize? He's like, no. He was like, no, I'm not going to apologize for that. Why should I? And I'm like, oh, wow, this is interesting. So to me, I'm just like, y'all putting yourself in danger because what ends up happening is something blows up in real life, and then all of these type of connections, get made, which is what's happening from the dude that blew up there in Colorado.
You
So
know, let's look at this. So let's look at this. So here we go. Where, and this is why I say the race, gender, and religion thing. Bit, and don't worry about it. Understand this, Black conservative. I keep track of everything or everyone that comes through my channel. We like to keep track of who all the people are. You know, that's how I know people are, who they are. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it amazes me when I'm asking about. See, I ain't asking about who makes the worst jokes, but we got to have a defining line. Exactly, the dog stray. We got to
yeah,
have a defining line. Um, but we definitely know you're not in America, James. I definitely know that now. You are not in America. I've seen your IP address. You are not in America. You are definitely out
yeah.
there, James. You are lying about that. You're not in America. You're somewhere out there, but you're not in America. Now, back to what I'm saying. The fact that some of y'all so easily like to will hang with people that joke past them lines. He didn't do that to be joking. He was doing that because he wanted to do that. I'm starting to understand why that man don't got his kids. I'm starting to understand why he don't got his kids. He's stupid. He's retarded. I keep the receipts of stuff that he said he sent to my phone because he can't be trusted. That man knowingly, as a retarded as he is, was joking about sticking his penis inside. Now it's crazy. The white concession stand, their community came through. Remember that? You remember that, Mike?
Yeah,
And
see, that's what I'm
denounced,
trying to tell them. And see,
and
this is the reason why we try to
they
warn these guys.
immediately they immediately denounced his ass.
You have to do that. You got to do that publicly
No, no,
because
no. See, conservative. No, David, you're my guy. But I
then
don't
you got to
cross them.
protect yourself.
I don't cross them lines, bro. I don't cross them lines. I can respect your stance on against abortion. I give you that. From one father to another father, me and Mike, I can say we respect you on that. But when I can draw the line, I'm never going to be on stage with somebody who says that they want to kill and stomp on the heads of white children. That has
No.
never been said on my
Mm-mm.
panel. And neither will I ever allow that. Let me speak.
No, no
Um,
kids.
I don't care for famous rappers. Why are you quoting rappers to me? See what I'm saying? See, this is why I don't think y'all can literally have a real. We're talking as men that are literally critiquing a standard.
This
We will
is the
never.
standard that, but see, you got to realize, BMT, and everybody, this is like our circle, actually. Even
Right.
though we have our problems, we argue. This is like what we're doing. We are kind of we might not be literally connected, but in kind of a way, we're kind of connected on this level that we kind of do similar content. Well, I don't say similar, but I'm saying to the similar audience, and we do content. I'll say it that way. So yeah,
Right.
when something blows up, it does have a reflection. See, that
Right.
goes back to that
I'm
collective thing again.
right. You ain't gonna never see me entertain that shit of any man. I don't give a damn if they're black saying that they're going to bash or kill or harm that of another child on jokingly on my panel. I'm not going to entertain that shit because no, that's somebody else's kid. That's somebody else's kid. I'm not going to entertain that shit. I'm not going to entertain. Well, I got some dark humor jokes. So you looked for it. Now you played yourself. You want to talk about tell some dirty jokes about sticking. Listen, man, that's how you get down. That's how y'all get down. I don't know what vices were y'all trying to. No, what's that? What's that stand? Oh no, I'm gonna tell you my standard. I don't joke about having sex with children. Is that a standard? I don't joke
Yeah.
about anything of doing anything sexually indicative to harming that of a child. I believe that we can have that type of standard.
Right.
I believe that we can have that. I don't believe nothing of sexualizing that of a baby or literally talking about anything about genitals with that of a child, unless they are in a medical facilitated area with the parents' guidelines, knowing that this is going on. I don't entertain that. I don't entertain nothing of that nature. I will never entertain that. I think y'all. I even told y'all about my background and what for me. So why would I entertain that? I will keep that standard. Just like when there was a young man who was with a grown woman, I got at that grown woman, just like I would get at a grown man getting at a young girl. And I believe Mike would hold that same sentiment also.
What did you say about? And remember, I remember you did content on Boosie. Remember
Yep.
Boosie?
Yep. And all the men were praising him. And I was like, no. We sing about killing kids every night on. I
We
never sing. Who's we? Who's we?
see. You see how that gets the collective now. See that?
What song is about killing? Now we collective now? When did we become a collective? I ain't never sung no song about what song I sung or Mike sung about killing kids. Whoa.
Hey.
So now there's a we.
Hey.
What song is there about killing kids? I need
That's
to know
not-
if I could pull up that song about
That's
that,
not real black.
that's not something. That's
He's gonna pull up Biggie. He's gonna pull up Biggie, and that's not real. That's a death culture. Biggie is dead.
No. Don't do only when only white folks do it. I need to know the song. I need to know the song. But see, you can't play the game with me. I can show you plenty of pictures with me of different other affiliated groups and different other talking points. And ain't not one time have they ever heard me talk about, mind you, I had other affiliated groups coming to me apologizing about a person trying to have sex with children, talking about sex with children. I've talked to men in this space who have openly confessed about wanting to sleep with 14, 15, and 16-year-old girls
Damn.
on this panel. So I've never condoned any adult talking about killing, maiming, or abusing a child.
Yeah, see, all of that was inside of that joke. You see what I'm saying? This is too much. That was too much. That's the reason why
What songs am I appreciating on? What songs? What songs? What songs have Mike ever said, man, this is a good song about them killing babies?
Nah, you ain't gonna find that on me. You ain't gonna never find
You ain't
that
gonna
on
find
me.
that on me, buddy. Come on, I need y'all. I need.
You can go back on my Facebook too. You can go on my Facebook.
Y'all need to go find that. Y'all will never find that on me. I will need to say it. Don't say no. What we black folks ain't no we black folks on that. It's funny because I was literally been trying to get money for a school for kids. I was getting laughed at and clowned out by black men in this space. But y'all so much for community or community or whatever y'all want to call it. What's up, educated?
And I'm gonna ask the question because it's like, look, what would they do if the black community wasn't dysfunction? Now, why would we want you back? Because what black conservatives said, the educated people left because they wasn't respected with the whatever respect they deserve or something. I was like, dude, if we got to do it all ourselves from the ground up and produce our own from babies, we got to produce educated people and grow them up and wait 30 years before they can function and start building. Why would the hell would we want y'all back? Because y'all, nobody's going to respect you. It's like you got to be there with the grind. And then when you're talking about the type of culture of the community, if we're going to be protecting kids, that's what we do. That's the standard. We don't have to wait for somebody else to. You don't take a gutter song, some song out somewhere, and some guttural song, and then you're gonna put that on everybody,
Yeah, I
and then
wouldn't
you're
get
gonna
into it.
laugh at us. Well, then you're gonna laugh at the people who accept that. See, that's the problem that I have with some of these guys, because it's like they just have to have some dysfunction. They're not comfortable with black people, but looking at people doing good, trying to do good, or developing themselves. They just gotta put dysfunction on everybody. But
Like I said,
they're just as bad as Pookie to me. Actually,
listen,
to me they really the same. They're just like just refined Pookies.
listen.
And if they want to,
Uh,
yeah, because
no, listen. I don't. They listen. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't get like. I'm just saying. You can talk to me. We're educated men. Only thing I asked you was a question. Only thing I asked is any of y'all men who are conscious of thought or, thinking, what camaraderie do y'all find in talking with a man that jokes about fucking kids? And why is it bad with other men to ask you, why do you hang out with that type of man? If your comeback is, well, other people have made worse jokes, and I've even spoken about that on the TPOT, that yeah, men have made worse jokes, and I got at them. I believe that if you're a man of standard, that I should be able to answer that question. If I know that Mike, because it's not that serious. It's not that serious,
well, he want to
and
wait until it gets serious. He wants to wait until it gets serious. Then
okay,
that's
okay,
when
so
they act. They wait.
okay,
They
okay,
wait.
okay,
That's how
okay,
they.
okay, okay. So
That's what they do.
so in their defense of the men that make, so in their defense of the men that make pedophile jokes,
Yeah, wait until the police and FBI get involved, and then that's when we
typical
take steps.
typical Dallas speak for the non-birdies elite class. I'm used to it. I just laugh. It's not a chain either. Am I or they? Okay, I don't know what that meant. I don't even know what that meant.
Bourgeois,
But
I guess that's bourgeois.
okay,
Bourgeois elite. They feel
um,
like they're elite.
yeah, I know we know what they are. That's what I said. I look, I find it when he used the bourgeoisie. Um,
Yeah, but they actually that's like a negative term, but I don't know why
that's
people
yeah. I'm gonna say that
want to.
that's actually not a
Yeah,
positive.
yeah. Even Karl Marx, that's Marxism. That's like communism.
I don't think
That's
when,
communism.
when black people use names they don't know what they mean.
Nobody
I just
likes the bourgeois.
yeah,
So
like I didn't
I don't know why
literally
you want to put a bullseye on yourself when stuff goes down. Everybody attacks the bourgeois. So I don't know why you want to
now
put that on you.
now here's the thing about it. If there was I don't know what society um I don't know what society um would probably want to promote unless it's a dysfunctional society promote that of sex with children except and I mean there are and I know there are types that are trying there are types that are trying
Oh yeah,
but
you're right.
there
There
are
is a
types
certain little society. There's a
there's a certain
certain
there's a certain
yeah.
see now if that's
It's
literally
a
what
Nambla. Nambla.
Mhm.
Is that what one
Now
of them is?
if that's the direction that they're going in then I mean like hey man that
Oh shit.
I mean but
Yeah, that's
yeah now I mean you get somebody get on stage saying hey man I want to have alleged relationships with a child that's never that's never going to play out in the majority as a
Yeah.
or a
When
joke.
you
That's,
expose
that's
that
not
to
something
the
you would even
world,
joke about. That's not something you would even joke about openly. See, this is why I can show my face when I say stuff. And then if I say, well, let me play this, and this is the person that said it right there. And they're going to say, well, I just said it to joke. Like, we can play that shit in a Burger King, a Walmart, McDonald's, a post office. Nobody is going to feel like you got to understand. You got to ask yourself, what is the question of mindset, psyche that person is in? You got to ask yourself, what's the concept? What is also the concept of psyche that woman that defends that type of man, she's in? What is the state that those children they're in? Like, to be honest, and yeah, we know that they got some supply, some subscribers that came to that person. Why? Because they look at it like dysfunction is always going to go to dysfunction. There was literally a person on stage that peed on another person. Their subscriber base blew up. Why? Because there's
where was
always
that?
going. I can't even show the video, but look on
No,
Ava
no, no.
Tree.
I'm saying, oh,
It was like a disgusting concert where this woman
oh,
peed
okay.
on this man, and
Oh, I think
everybody in
I
the
did
crowd,
hear. I heard about that. The
and
woman
everybody
did it.
right, and everybody in the
Oh,
crowd was like amazed that
oh.
shit that oh man, this shit is amazing. Like I'm like y'all crazy as fuck. That he peed in some man's face and some shit like that. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, this is what I'm saying. You can't put this kind of culture on us. And that's the
Like
thing
you,
is, it's
I'm
like,
like, how do
see,
you? Where can you? What
there's
that
a
on us at?
separation happening.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
That,
They want to
I
make
know. To be
like,
fair,
I,
but that wasn't black people that were doing that.
I know
That
that
was
was
not
white
black
people,
people. They were peeing. They were peeing on each other at a
but if
concert.
let's say if Moesha did it or Keisha, what they call Pookeisha, I think that's what they said.
Yeah, Pukisa also.
Pookeisha did that, it would be over for us, right? We wouldn't have no, just nothing we could do. See, this is y'all single mothers. See, single mothers.
Yeah.
No, no,
But
but we say. I think I heard about that. I would not look at it. There's certain stuff I can't look at. I'm not going to even
I can't
traumatize
get down
myself.
with it. Like I said, okay, now the okay. Now I get you now hang on, black conservative, you said something that's very interesting. The burguese means middle class. And actually that was used in the French quarters in Louisiana.
Right.
That was used in the French quarters of Louisiana. Now
Bourgeois.
for the
But then it's even
for the
older than that too, though.
right, it is. And usually I'm not gonna say that they kiss the rich class's ass, but usually those were like the mixed
They're
inbred.
buffer class. That's right. They're
Right. They
buffers
were
because those folks, basically the bourgeois, they was told they this is the same thing that's going on. This is a tactic. That's the reason why these guys, and like I said, they don't have nowhere where else to go because what they do is they mixed in. They was, educated a little bit. A lot of them were free, right? And well, they was part of the military, and they was used to put down the slave rebellions. And then what ends up happening is, I think it was a rebellion 1811. So, but the white people have been treating them like niggas, and they got sick of defending white people and the bourgeois class. So I guess one time they had decided, like, you know what, we're not gonna do it. And I guess the white people, they needed them because they were such a good army. They were so good at keeping the niggas in line, the slaves. And there was a rebellion, and I guess one the president, I think it was Jefferson, he had to give them some money because they wasn't getting paid the same. And then they helped to put down the slave rebellion because they was told that they were better. You got the white blood, and you guys are a little bit better than them. Those are just slaves, but y'all, y'all are better than them. So they was treated nicer, treated better. A lot of them were a little bit more light skinned.
But how were they
So they
treated
kind
better?
of
But
they
how were
was
they treated
treated
better?
better because
No,
they
but think
were
about
told that they were better.
right. But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about the bourgeoisie, right? Now the bourgeoisie, right? Now the bourgeoisie, right? The mixed daughters were taken and put into a brothel to be
What's the? Oh
fucked
yeah,
by
yep,
the
yes. And
bourgeoisie daughters were put into brothels to
what's
be
up,
fucked
citizen?
by soldiers.
Right, that's
Like
true.
they didn't have a choice with that. They
They
didn't
used
have a
to
choice.
breed them too, but they used
Yeah,
to breed them. They used to call them serpent women because they would
yeah.
breed
So
them. They would breed them with okay. They would mix some black in there. They would start mixing some Indian in there, and they would mix them in. And then like they would have certain characteristics like little Chinese eyes or sometimes, and they would have those brothels, and they would raise those little girls up, children. Yeah, they would raise them up from babies to dream about getting a rich white man to pay their way. That was their
right.
dream.
So like I said, hold on. Citizen Lou, is that you? I gotta make sure. And do you understand the topic? But I know somebody when you get up here, the first question you always ask is, "I don't understand the topic." And that's Citizen Lou. Okay, he's probably not
Yeah,
talking.
This
it's me.
what's up, bro?
Okay, all right. What's going on? Oh, okay, all this, all this hate for black people who are above, lower, and working
Hate
class.
who are above. Dang,
Okay,
man.
you,
I just did content on this.
wait.
These
Okay,
pe-
okay.
these people think they're better. They literally think they're better.
Now here, no, hang on. Let's just tackle one section at a
You're
time
right,
because
Mike.
we
He
have.
a nigga, no matter what, right?
Well,
No,
okay. So here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. And I always find this
he's not
interesting.
better.
Nobody,
Like
you right.
here's the thing.
Nobody's better, but
Here's the thing about it because it amazes
but
me when I have these conversations with these things. Uh, one, all we did was tell you the history of the bourgeois. That's all we did. We tell you the history. You can't get mad that we told you the history of your name, of what that name was used for, and what they were set up to do. You were a lower class, okay? You were a lower class in white society, but in Negro society, you were the gatekeeping
Function.
class function. Your daughters were the prostitutes, and your sons were goddamn gatekeepers. Okay, now that's not hate. That's just history. Okay, now when we're talking about working class, I don't know why everybody thinks that the lower class and the work class, black people have this mentality of
See,
whenever you talk to them about functionality of society, right? The first thing, and Mike and Lou, can't call me I'm wrong on this one. Negroes always run to their fucking money whenever you start calling out some shit. Well, I got money, nigga. Congratulations for telling me you got money. Like none of us here are hurting for money. So telling us that, and mind you, bro, I can. Do I need to pull out my wallet and just throw out money? I can do that, bro. Trust me, my bank is not hurting. I can with my lifestyle. Okay, but the thing about it is money versus the culture. Culture always wins. Money versus the culture. Culture always wins. And we want to know how I know that because the culture of China. What? Let me just show you the culture of China. Literally, if the billionaires speak out against the culture of
yep,
China will take the
yep.
billionaire and
the
put them.
culture or the communist government.
Well, that's their culture. Whether you call them a communist government or not, that's still their culture.
I mean, it's not really their
That's
culture. Their culture
really.
is
Wait. See,
we haven't
listen.
always been a communist nation. So what do you mean?
Okay,
That's the
listen.
culture.
Okay, so what do you call a dynasty?
They chose it.
They no when the communist regime came in,
Okay,
They destroyed all that stuff. That wasn't the case for. Go ahead.
but who are these communist people? See what I'm saying? They're Chinese people.
Okay, but so that's just
Yeah,
like what you got Chinese people. They're not all the same, bro. Like the Chinese, you
but
got the Chinese now.
in China. I'm saying,
Okay,
listen, Lou. I'm just saying, just think about what you're saying. I'm
I'm listening.
literally, I'm just trying to deal with what you're actually saying. Because unless we maybe we have a disagreement on what culture means, because culture includes all of the stuff that they use to identify themselves as Chinese. That's
Okay,
like
but when you say
it includes everything. So the communism is a part of what they chose in their country for themselves. So
no,
that's
that's not
part
that's
of their culture.
Now I got a question. Now let me watch it. Now you like fighting. You like fighting, right, Lou? You like watching fighting stuff, right? There's a guy in China that he does MMA. You've heard about him? I'm not sure if I can pull him up. I'll pull him up for you. Now, what he does is he wants to call out the Chinese kung fu culture and say a lot of that shit don't work. And so what he's been doing, he's been going. Let me follow. I'm gonna follow you with this. I'm gonna show you. He's been going to Wing Chun masters, different types of masters, and challenging them. Wushu masters, don't matter, and beating them in front of audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened, though he's been beating them, and I'm like, these are some he's legit. It's been recorded. The culture of China has blackballed him. You know how they got that caste social system? He can't get a flight. He can't go into different territories. He can't do nothing. They have blackballed the fuck out of him. From the government of China on down, have blacklisted him because he's challenging their ancient culture, martial art history that everybody knows. China kung fu, everybody go kung fu fighting. So mind you, he's like, I just want to show y'all that, you know what I'm saying? He's just showing the myth versus the reality. And the fact that
that's like their religion.
The fact that that would be the religion. See the religion part?
Yeah.
The fact that he's challenging their ideologies, he's a threat to them.
Yeah.
That they literally band together and threaten to kill his family. They done threatened him. I mean, I watched like so it's a few YouTubers are like, yo, man, like, you need to leave China, bro. Like, they're going to kill you, bro. Like, they're not going to let you live. But you're like, no, I have to prove that they're wrong. Shit.
See?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
James, he's an MMA fighter showing that he can beat them, or and that is fake. Yeah, so he's a real guy.
What I was saying, when you say like what's a dynasty, right? You know, I'm thinking of like, you know, you got the Jing dynasty, the Ming dynasty, the Song dynasty, all those different dynasties they have, right? That's what I'm thinking. Because when the CCP actually took over, you had a lot of Chinese, I guess you call them purists, I guess, or whatever you want to call them. They fled to Taiwan and they brought a lot of their culture, their ideology with them to Taiwan. That's why China does not want Taiwan to be recognized as a separate nation, because that's essentially where the real Chinese people are. That's where they brought, because they brought all their arts, their statues before the CCP and the what do you call it, collaborative, whatever you want to call the people who supported it. That's who destroyed all the shit before they came in, right? So that's what I mean by culture. Like, you know what I mean? And when you say like all the people of China, it's kind of difficult when you say that, because a lot of China is like annexed of different islands and like a billion, you know what I'm saying? It's like different. It's not like because like a lot of China is not even inhabitable and it's just land and shit. But a lot of the population comes from annexation of different. I just wanted to add that part because you were saying like the people, it's not necessarily like they wanted to be a part of CCP. They've been annexed. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they chose to be in a communist regime. They had a choice. They were annexed.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you know Chinese people, their history They had a lot of wars. They had these little big sections of China. They became China. I forgot how long ago. Because they were fighting each other, the different warlords, I should say. This is way back, and then they became the Chu dynasty, basically won, right? So that's part of their history. That's part of their culture now. All of them are part of that. When they chose to become a communist, when they chose Karl Marx is venerated in that part of the world. They don't demonize them like Marxism and communism, like they demonize them here in America. They
Okay, can I just say this, Mike? If they became communists within the last 50 years, I don't see how that's their culture.
they chose it though. Well, I mean, but see, you don't have a good definition of culture then, because the culture is it doesn't stay the same. It continuously changes. It's a sum total of everything. So the way they want to be seen, they want to be seen as communists. Their country want to be seen as that. That's the picture that they're choosing that for themselves. That is a part. So the culture is all this other stuff too, but that right there is part of what they want to be. So you can disagree with it, different parts of it, and you can find a couple people of Chinese descent who don't agree with it. That's true too, but on part, you can't say that they're not communist nation. That's what they are, and they chose to be that.
I didn't say that. I said that when you say culture, it's futile. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
No. But the only reason why that's important, the only reason why I think that's important is because that's what I was saying before. A lot of times we're like when we say stuff, it comes across different. Like the word that you say, what you're meaning, it means something different to a lot of other people. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it like from a perspective that they just came like if the government changes, I'm looking at it as like a hostile takeover. It wasn't necessarily like everybody kumbaya and just acted as if they all wanted it. It was kind of like the party kind of seized control of the entire situation.
But that's every country, because like, can we say that we choose how the government sways in America? Can we honestly say?
No, you're right. I mean, like a two-party system, right? I mean,
right. Well, I wouldn't even say it was a two. I don't even know if it's a really like. We're told it's a two-party system,
right?
But they operate the same, right?
Right, and so that's why I be looking at it like I've been a civilian, then I've been a government worker, so I've seen both sides. In both sides, you really don't have a choice. You're told in the ant farm, this is your farm, and this is your colony. Okay, how people perceive us as a American system. It's very interesting, and you've heard how they speak about us, Lou. And so, if you, Mike, you spoke to people outside of our system and asked them how they view us as Americans, and they'll tell you, "Well, this is your culture. Your culture is guns, capitalism."
Right.
Ask Chinese people about what they think about black people.
Ooh, I've heard that.
There's a video.
Say that again.
I said, ask Chinese people what they think about black
Listen,
people.
man. Listen, listen. They have a very intake. Y'all wouldn't be praising their culture like y'all think y'all would be praising them.
I don't praise it. I fucking hate
No,
China.
I didn't say you. Let me make sure.
Oh, my bad. I despise China.
Now,
why would you despise?
Because it's
to despise the people or the government or whatever. What part of them?
No. Okay,
that's a good question, Mike.
I tell you, when thinking men just talk around each other.
That's a good question, Mike.
Now, because the thing about it is, again, I get when you talk about a hostile takeover, but certain people were either for it or some people were against it. Just like how same thing goes on in Mexico, same thing that goes on in America. You would think it was a hostile takeover, how they took the state. They took the state. Now we're not talking about no January shit. We're just talking about when you watch. Oh, now the representatives are now predominantly Democrat. Now they're predominantly Republican. Like I'm like, well, damn, I guess they just did a takeover again. Well, okay. Why should I care? Because at the end of the day, I am a worker ant on the outside. At this point,
Right.
I'm not the guy sitting in the room. None of us three are the guys sitting in the room, calling any shots. We're outside of the room. Hell, by the time we figure out a bill or anything that doesn't pass, hell, that bill that we think is getting passed, there probably was something already passed 2 weeks ahead of that was already done. And so I always look at it. That's why I said the culture is forever evolving to fit the
Right.
narrative of certain people. That's why I when I look at it when we was talking about the bourgeoisie culture, like there's different caste systems. Does your money play a part of you rising into an influential position in a caste system? Yes, it does. I've never seen a poor person unless you are part of the mob. Really
Hey,
have
hey James, I guess you came up here to say something to me, right? So I wanted to let you
No,
know I
no,
was
no.
waiting for
I'm just
BMT to
listening to
finish,
you
but
guys.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I'm up
let
to
you
this.
know why I do despise Chinese government. The fact that the thing started there, then they try to blame Africans and Americans.
Yeah,
The
they
fact,
definitely did.
I'm sorry.
The thing started there, and then they started to blame African Americans. Okay.
No, excuse me. I said Africans, like the Africans there. Then they started
Africans.
blaming Americans also. The fact that they kept international flights open but closed down domestic flights, so they knew what was happening. They didn't want to spread through China, but they let it spread throughout the world. The also fact that they make 80% of our stuff, and I don't like that fact. Now, that's not necessarily like I despise them for that. That's more of a corporation thing, so that's not their fault.
That was our
but
fault. We should have never.
Yeah,
You're,
right.
you're mi-
I'll give you
but
that.
you're mixing like literally everything. What
Right,
from the
and that's-
last?
I know that's why I said that.
None of this is any of China's fault.
It's the CCP's fault, right? Well, no. The factory thing is not their fault. That's definitely a U.S. corporation's fault, and that's why I caught myself when I was saying, I was like, yeah, it's not really their fault. So I'll pass that on. But yeah, for the most part, I just don't like how they operate. Banning things, the double speak, the kidnapping billionaires if they say anything, flooding the stock market with bullshit shell companies and all those other things. It's just, and it's stealing intellectual property. It's just not a good people. It's just not a good thing. Like, it's just they're going to become more of a problem than aiding the world soon. If not, if they haven't already, that's what I want to say. Like, they are becoming a big problem.
Okay. So the COVID thing, and then that was created in China, correct?
I said it started. I didn't say created. I don't have.
It started. It started in a wet. It started in a wet market, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So-
I just said it started.
So somebody ate a turtle. Somebody ate a bat, right?
Yes. Yeah. I just said it started. I just said we know it started there. Right?
That's where it started, right?
Okay.
So and then it moved on to the lab, and then we found out that the guy in the U.S. funded that lab for the research because you wouldn't do the research in America. You would do it somewhere where it's obviously not in America, like you do with everything that you produce.
Mm-hmm.
You produce it cheaply in China, or where you can do it where people will look the other way, because people tend to not look the other way in America, or tend to get offended, or tend to have.
I recanted that. I was like, yeah, no,
So
we won't use that.
And that's with everything.
I recanted the production thing. I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know, but that would also be the same thing with the virus and the funding and the person that's.
I see your point.
Anyway,
that's okay. I see your point.
The thing is, who is America to instruct? And this is why I don't talk very much about China. I talk about China, but then again, I don't. It's because I'm an American and I can redress my government and the grievances that I have with my government. So, and I take full right and responsibility for that in everything that America does. And that's kind of like the focus where we all are at. We're all Americans. Sometimes I hear We're having a black conversation. So now we're talking about Chinese. You're black talking about Chinese, about communism. How about you don't like their system, although you don't understand their system? Well, like I said in the comments, you vote for a two-party system. Why is it a two-party system? Why is it not a 3 or 4 or 5-party system like Germany? Germany has several parties: black, blue, pink, yellow, green, a whole bunch of them. Nazi party, the non-Nazi party. They have a bunch of them. America only has 2. And when you vote, you're always 50-50. Pretty much 50-50.
Yeah,
So you've
it's
always
like the
got
West
half
too.
of your country against you. All right? And beyond the vote, beyond
Actually,
you going and
it's
voting
not
who you
just
want to
50-50.
vote for, nothing is in your control. Everything, and we know this, is corporately controlled in America. So this whole, your democracy, you have the right to vote, that's all just, it's a facade. And we all know this. I mean, it gives you that feeling that you have the right to vote and you can change something. But honestly, I don't have to vote every 4 years. I don't need to vote for a local government in Germany. Can't change anything. I don't vote for anything in the US because in the end, people come to power and then they get overwhelmed with their tasks to do that leave no room for all the other tasks.
Okay, but
You know,
like I
you're
said,
too worried with
you
what's
asked me
happening
you
in
asked me why I
China.
didn't like China, and I told you. So I mean,
No.
I really
didn't
don't
ask
care. I mean, they
anything.
can round them all up and
I-
shave their heads and
I-
execute them and
I
I
didn't
really
ask
don't give a shit,
anything.
to be honest.
You offered to explain why you didn't like China. There's things about China that I don't like either, and I don't agree with. But you have to understand that America spends a lot of money on advertising, propaganda, and brain manipulation. It does. You see it in your advertising. You see it in your news. It's all just bullshit. What do all these people know? They don't know nothing. They take one story and then they manipulate it, and then they add lies, and then all of a sudden you don't have any truth anymore in it. And you see this in America. Half the culture is like that. You
Well,
know,
but
you're
perception,
talking
man.
I
about.
know they were kicking out Africans.
They were
blaming them for
kicking
COVID.
out Africans. Do you know why they were kicking them out, or do you just
they
assume
said
they were kicking?
They said they were spreading COVID. They said they brought COVID here from Africa, and that's the reason why COVID spread.
Okay,
they
so
kicked them
Don't
all
say
out.
that
that's
word.
what that's
Hey,
what the
y'all
Chinese.
if I was
That's
BFT, I would
what
go
that's
ahead
what the
and
government
You can't-
said,
you
or
can't-
that's
you
what
can't
some
say-
news outlet said. Because you know what the fact was?
You can't say
They
that.
were staying
No,
in an
they
apartment.
already had the
Wait,
guidelines, Super Mike. They said you can say it. You just can't say it that it's not real and shit like that.
No.
you could talk about it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
can
word.
talk about it. I mean,
That's
why would you not be able to talk about
Thank
it?
you, Mike. Mike is just
But
looking out for the interest of the channel. That's all.
okay,
Mike is just
But look, let me clear up what was happening with those Africans, because that's all you saw. Did you see anything about Africans ever again in China? No. These were students, and they were in a room that was facilitating for 3 people. And the government changed rules. They used to house Chinese people. You could pack 40 people, 80 Chinese people into an apartment in the middle of a city. You could charge each person for a bed $100 or $10, $20, and you could make 10 times as much money just by renting out these beds. Now, this same concept, they put in regulation to say how many people you can have, or how many, if there's 3 rooms, you can't have 8 people. You can have 3 couples,
Okay,
but that's the maximum. And if in this case, they go into a dormitory and there's 20 black guys in there, and I mean, in this case, they were black guys. So, I mean, it would happen the same thing if I would have 20 beds set up and have 20 white people here,
I seen people attacked on the street there in China that were black. People kicked out of stores because they were black.
yeah, James. I mean, not James. Yeah, exactly. So,
So,
we've been informed
yeah,
that
yeah.
from now on, black. I
Notice.
don't know what you just tried to explain. If that,
Yeah, but police
I know that
telephone number
Washington-
110 is not China.
what? This is China.
In English, notice. Police telephone number, I don't understand.
No, this was taken in a McDonald's in China, and it said
That's
they
McDonald's.
translated it. right? And they
Yeah.
said this is from China, right? This is a restaurant in China. I told you this was going on.
That's a
After they were
McDonald's,
kicking-
yeah.
After they were kicking all the Africans out and put them in the streets and all that other
Yep.
stuff, they said right here, we've been informed that from now on, black people are not allowed to enter the restaurant. For the sake, I mean,
that's
it's
a
and
kiosk,
then
right? That's a kiosk right there. That's a kiosk right
yeah,
there.
it's and this
That's a
is
Chinese
this is
restaurant.
definitely China. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
trying to. I
And
don't know what
did
you're trying
anybody
to-
call McDonald's? Did anybody call
So-
McDonald's, which
Yeah,
is a
McDonald's
U.S. corporation?
McDonald's apologized, but
I have a
every
question.
chain- every
So
I have
chain
a
there you go.
operates
question. Hey,
independently.
James.
And that's where it ends, right?
What?
Does it continue on? Do you have more of this?
Okay,
Yes.
so I
This
told
is-
you
there
that. So
was
I got to
more.
You're
keep. We
talking
got to keep
about one
escalating.
McDonald's.
So
You're
at
talking
what
about
point-
one McDonald's.
No, I told you about how they evicted like 100,000 Africans in what's that city called?
Would you- 100,000 Africans.
Oh, so that's
But Lou, are you African?
negative. No, I'm not. I'm American.
Yeah.
Do you
so
know
it's
the-
just interesting.
Do you
No, I
know
just
the
had to-
visa
I had to hit
status
you
of
with that.
everyone
But,
there?
but
That
Mike,
conversation.
and I know what
Were
you're
they
saying. Mike,
registered
hold on,
there?
James,
I had
hold
it.
on. Mike,
Hold
you're
on,
right.
I
Mike.
had to hit Lou with that for my
No,
last
Mike, no,
conversation.
no,
Keep
right.
going,
No, Mike,
keep
you're right
going.
because you're saying Chinese people don't see you any different, right? Is that,
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but I'm hitting you with that
no, I'm
from our
with
last
you.
conversation because see, we split on talking points to win an individual conversation, but when we start talking about a collective overall and imagery and stereotypes, all of those type of things, then in those conversations within ourselves, we hearing all these other points like, oh, we're not
but-
Africans, or I'm not African, or you're not this, or that's different
Mike,
people.
you've
Those
never-
are Pookies.
Mike,
They're
Mike, you-
different.
Brother Mike, you've never heard me say I don't see color or race.
No,
I
I
know-
haven't
I
heard
know-
you say that.
You know what I mean? I know when it's like a lot of other people on the panel, like I'm not on that time. I know what it is, but what you say? Yeah, so I don't know, James. Like, do I got to show like Chinese
No,
people
look,
hanging?
I'm
like-
not. I'm wait.
Well,
I'm not
but Lou,
denying the fact that McDonald's put up the sign. Okay.
No, bro. You know
It was
it's-
more
you
than
are
McDonald's.
taking-
It's an
you
I
are
saw other
taking-
ones other than
yes.
McDonald's.
Okay, but let's go back and look at America when it was no blacks, no Jews, no dogs allowed.
Wait.
Yeah,
James,
that was
why don't you give up
everywhere.
your American citizenship?
James, let's
What?
let John say something. Let's let John.
Why
say
don't you give
something.
up your American citizenship?
You're going to pay the $2,250 it costs, and where would you like me to get a new nationality from? You think that just costs
Apply-
nothing? And what are you suggesting to an American citizen?
Well, you
What
don't
are you
like America.
suggesting? Yeah, and that's my God-given right, isn't it? Constitutional given right?
But you claim to be American.
Isn't that the great thing? Oh, I claim to be American. My passport says American. The 14th Amendment tells me I'm American.
Which
My
is part of
heritage
black
tells
culture.
me American.
you've been
Okay,
naturalized.
so I remember.
But
so
yeah.
let me talk about this real quick.
You're black, James?
No, he's
No.
not. He's white.
He's not white.
Yeah.
He's white.
Oh,
If
so
you
how
want-
does
if
the
you wanna-
14th Amendment apply to you?
Naturalization. He's been naturalized.
Oh man, Jesus, please.
So
It's not even
So-
naturalization. It's just born American.
Oh, I thought you were naturalized.
I'll
That's,
probably-
that's why.
I
I know
was-
you're
No.
an immigrant. I thought you
Born.
were naturalized.
So let me
Born
say this.
American.
So, okay, no, we got you.
Birthright.
We know you are. As far as it
Just saying.
goes for this, that no, you're fair. You're fair in saying that. Now, as far as saying this, I covered the story because we do have people who do go travel abroad, to different other countries. That is a thing. I had a friend. He went to Japan to go travel abroad. His brother went to China. He loves China. He went there abroad, and I remember he called me. I remember this was the year before last, and he said, "I have to leave. I have to leave. They're getting strict on where we can and can't go." And I'm like, "Okay, you got money?" He said, "No, like, I need y'all to." I said, "Get to the embassy. Get to the embassy." You know what I'm saying? And he said, "Well, what about my girlfriend? You can't take your girlfriend with you." And yes, he had an Asian girlfriend. They were going to get married, but I'm like, "Dude, you're an American. Get your ass out of there and get back." Now, he'd been going through a rough time, but yeah, he had to leave. He had to leave because he understood that, hey, a lot of, this color, they were losing their jobs. Their jobs were being taken out. and that they also were being restricted with certain guidelines because of stuff. Now, understand there were certain things that were already understood that were happening at that time. So, yeah, was it fucked up? No, David, you did a good job covering last night. I won't take that from you, David. You did an excellent job covering that last
No,
night.
David has good panels. He has good conversations.
And I will say, and I won't take.
He really does have a good channel.
I do not take
He got
that
a good
from.
channel.
Listen, I don't take that. I don't want. I want y'all to say, I respect David's work in his research of journalistic news. I want you to understand that. Y'all, please go check out Conservative Culture and Politics Review. I respect that. I don't fuck with everybody, that one individual, but I respect that of his review. David does solid from where he started. And I remember David told me on my panel when he used to come over to my shows a lot, and he said, BMT, I'm going to start my own shit. Were you not there, David? And I was one of the first ones to subscribe and support you. So
Yeah,
I definitely was
good.
supporting David.
He's real good.
And he's good. He's real good. So
the concern I have with David though.
Yeah, that's
This is
kind of why I came up. I thought y'all were like, you said I come in. I don't know what y'all talking about, but I thought y'all were going in on David because you were talking about the panel.
Oh no,
that's one. No, that's one of your
he
nuances.
He was smacking us around on some of our talking points a little bit, which is cool. He was smacking us,
but one of the things about it is, as far as it comes, America, we do have a culture. We do have a culture. Our culture believes in that of capitalism. We also have a culture in that of government, state, and religion. Government, state, and religion. Whether y'all want to recognize that or not, we have the ideologies: the government, the state, and the religion. The government cannot oversee the state, and the state has a place where the religion has a voice of ideology. What you believe in is an indomitable fact. How do I know this? Because I'm a soldier and I am bound by those three rules. That the government cannot come in your state without the state's permission. Lou, you understand that? And so does John, right?
10th Amendment.
So
10th Amendment.
If the president says, I want to bring soldiers into your state, that governor can say, fuck you. No, it's not happening. And guess what? Ain't nothing. And we do know, but they did it to Trump. They said, no, you can't bring those guys into my state. And there was nothing the president can do.
Yep.
If he were to do that, he would be in a lot of trouble. Understand? Now, the next thing, right, you're right about that, Black conservative. Small government is small government is the American way. So,
the thing is, these guys funny with that. But anyway, keep going.
But now the next thing comes the religion. And religion doesn't always mean Christian or anything else. It means your belief system. If your belief system trumps that of the ideology, then guess what? Then that can be enough to stir up the populace into anything. Okay? My belief in the amendment, my belief in the Constitution, my belief in my party, my belief in what I believe is an indomitable fact. Ward, we are right. That is the foundation of the American system. Community. Whatever your community it is that it wants it to be. The smallest community.
I'm right, you're wrong.
The smallest community can be the most dangerous community. We've seen that by proving speak softly, swing a big stick. We're bigger with saying our words and actually just taking whatever we want by any means necessary. That is the American way of life, whether y'all like it or not. But we have been brought up and engineered into this blood-bounded system. So literally, whether you like it or not, this is our culture.
Well, the thing is, BMT though, it's like dysfunctional culture because like it's on a decline, and that's what Lou was talking about a little earlier. Like when you're talking about China, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the culture of America is actually white supremacy. Yeah, I wanted to put that out there because I know some people would enjoy that. But the problem is because it's that way, but you have other cultures inside of America. They gotta keep this certain group on a top level, and it's actually undermining the effectiveness of the entire system. And that's the reason why countries like China, which they don't have a like a minority class like that. They have minority class, but they're basically more homogenous. I'll say it that way. And they can move up faster, and they can take advantages of internal conflicts that happen in America. And this is the reason why, if you don't want to get rid of this racial division stuff, then you're gonna have a problem here in America. You're gonna continue to get weaker because you're looking at each other as black culture. You're looking at each other as white culture. Asian. You're actually looking at each other as different nations instead of looking at each other as a group, one American. So
look what they're doing to the Uyghurs.
Yeah. Well, China does stuff like
They're
that.
in concentration camps.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that.
Aren't they
I'm
doing
not
the
saying
same
that they
thing
don't
with
have.
black people in America?
No,
Right,
okay,
I'm not
We
saying
don't have concentration camps. We have prison,
now, we
which
cannot,
is what
Oh, what
China
was that in
fixed,
Georgia just a
we
couple
can't-
weeks ago?
and we can't
Taking
have
away
it.
their passports.
Black
Yeah.
conservative. I'm gonna let you know right now. The president should be allowed to send the National Guard. No, the National Guard does not answer to the president and answers to that.
You see what they want?
Like, you cannot do that. Like,
You see this BMT?
no, hang on now. Listen.
Yeah. Look at this. This is crazy.
I want you to understand that there are checks and balances. You gotta understand, every state has their own macro, micro army. Every state has their own army. So yes, you have the United States Army, and every state has their own National Guard that answers to their state. Granted,
to the
we all
governor.
answer-
Yeah.
we answer to the governors. Now, granted that if something would have happened, we would get activated. But the president can't say, "Hey, I'm activated." No, the governor activates the National Guard, because understand those are people that work at home, but also that they say, "Okay, I'm going to go work. I'm going to go back in for the state." Now, if that literally happens, see who checks the uncheckable. And see, that's the thing what Lou was talking about. I believe you were talking about, Lou, where the certain powers that be, they get to make the rules. Well, see, that's when y'all talk about, hey man, could do that only if the top, okay, the only president could do that, but only with permission from the state government. Yes, only correct, David.
Or the Insurrection Act, they can go in. But that's very rare.
If it's totally an insurrection where, god damn it, it looks like goddamn that 80s movie with goddamn Nick Fury and California's all gone shit.
No, I think let me ask you, I think if like, let's say like Texas secedes, would that be like considered some type of like, not really an insurrection, but
would it be an insurrection?
But could that be enacted though? Like if
Nah,
they try to secede from the U.S. government, wouldn't that be like a?
They couldn't do that. They couldn't do if a state were to say if a state like Texas were to succeed, and this is the thing about it. So if a state were
You
to
just go. You can militate. You can militate if you got enough states that agree. You go militate and just take over.
That's what I was thinking.
Because,
I'm
because
curious. I think
Mexico,
they can.
but Mexico could do the same thing to them. If Texas wanted to secede, and they're like, okay, well, some other countries could just take over Mexico. They just start a war.
Now this is a good. Now this is good. Now a secession equals war. Now, not really, because now when you talk about secession, now what kind of war? People will think it would be a physical war. No, the most dangerous war is a trade war, which literally is that of the financial and digital battle. See, that is actually the war. Y'all really
BMT, you're right. Actually, that's what he did say. This is like an uncivil war. Like, that's kind of that's the type of war this is, like an information trade type of. Like you'll start to see, like I guess, like this is what I was thinking. Like, so these like red like they call them flyover states. Like you're gonna need these Tesla charging stations between New York and California. So I could definitely see like some type of war going on about that, because that'll really put a whole fucking dent in like Nancy Pelosi's entire scheme she got going on right now with Elon Musk and the Democrats.
I'm just saying, like, y'all, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the reason why a secession,
Yeah. See, that's crazy.
Like, listen, but you gotta ask yourself, different states have different components that keep us binding together. Now, when people say, well, we don't need that state, well, you don't know what that state provides for your country to literally for you to function. That's like you saying, well, I don't need that part of my body. Well, you don't know what that part of your body function at. I mean, granted, your body will have to reset and relearn itself, but will you be a function? Would you truly be functional? Like,
yeah, and Texas is not gonna go alone. Everything Texas does, 20 other states follow suit.
Like,
and each state has their own constitution. Their state constitutions.
Right, man.
Right,
Like,
that's true.
I don't get y'all know.
See, this is what.
Y'all don't get.
Yeah, they
Those
don't. They
state
just say stuff.
constitutions don't top the Constitution.
I don't know.
What'd you
y'all-
say,
Well, there's a war there. That
State
becomes a war.
constitutions do not top the Constitution.
That's what I said. If they
Federal.
secede, that's what he was saying. If they secede, they already have a constitution. That's what he was saying.
Let me tell you what
Well,
top.
yeah, they can copy the U.S. Constitution.
Let me tell you what top.
I'll give you an example.
Well,
In some states, it's legal to have cannabis, but yet federally, it's against the law. But yet states
Exactly.
can have the cannabis because according to their constitution and the way they voted, it's legal in their state. Even though nationally it's illegal.
Yeah, because they're allowed to make their own laws, but in the Constitution, it doesn't say anywhere that cannabis is illegal.
I'm gonna put it like this.
It's scheduled.
isn't it true that the
Makes it a
Constitution
law.
was written on him? Isn't that
Hold on,
true?
hold on.
We
Sure.
have a national,
BMT talking.
we
Oh,
have
my bad.
a
B. I can't.
national-
BMT, you gotta turn your mic up, bro.
I'm gonna change that. We have a national constitution, and every state has their own state constitution. We don't all. That's why I try to let y'all know we all don't run by the same guidelines and rules.
Yep.
That's where you're having these collides of heads and mindsets. We all don't have the same rule sets that we play by. Does that make any sense to some of y'all? Like
Yeah.
what works
Yep.
in
It's the
Texas?
same thing with the Second Amendment. In some states, it's more liberal. In other states, it's more strict, depending on their constitution and the way they voted.
Hmm.
California's
Yeah.
gun laws are a lot different than Texas or Arizona.
Yeah, it's
Do
kind
they
of funny how
infringe your right to
California
bear
and
arms?
which one? California or both?
Any
them
of the
do?
states. Are there any
Well, they
states
both
that disallow you to have to bear arms?
I think it would be mostly Rhode Island, Hawaii, Connecticut. Those states, it's real hard.
So
But
maybe the majority of the people there voted against it, and that's why it's not, the Second Amendment doesn't apply. But
well, it applies. They could get a
if
gun.
you
They
wanted
got-
to fight it,
They
you
just
could
put
fight it
heavy
in the Supreme
restrictions.
Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody needs a gun that fires, I don't know, 90 bullets in 3 seconds
Oh, yeah.
while you're driving by in a car, somebody's house, I mean,
Yeah,
makes
New York,
sense.
like okay, so like put like this. So like when I lived up in Massachusetts, right? You had hunting weapons that are made for hunting, and you have weapons that are called cop killers. That's what they're classified as. Cop killer weapons are weapons that can go through a level 2 vest that most police officers can carry, or in most city areas. Due to certain stuff that happened in the cities, they don't want certain types of guns or firearms there. They're already categorized as a felony. A felony, like you're going straight there. They're not even trying to hear what you got to say. Like that's why I don't even travel with my gun. I know people say, "Well, I got a CWP." That CWP don't mean shit. And once you get on that 95 North and you traveling up there, you might have to take that gun and start taking it apart.
You're safer without it. Like
You're safer
I said,
without it.
people.
And then put it on you because you listen. If you get stopped at one of them turnpikes and you say, well, it's my amendment that I can have it. Okay, all right, all right. Well, okay.
Okay.
You tell that to that state trooper, and you think that your ass is going to get past them when they pull you over on that turnpike, and they're going to say, for what reason are you? Who are you protecting on the turnpike? Who are you protecting on the
You
turnpike?
never know.
And you better not say nothing to them. Just let them arrest you. Just
Listen, it's better for
more
you
you
to
talk,
fight that battle when you can get to the station. than-
Like anything, as soon as they want to arrest you.
Oh no, well, see,
Oh, so we're so this is a police state, right?
like,
well, yeah, that's what
Pretty
y'all
much.
like, right?
when
You
tell,
see,
like,
this is what I
Yeah.
don't.
Man, what
Let me
you
tell you.
man?
Let me say something.
Mike, man,
Let me
you
tell you something.
projecting
Hold
all,
on, no.
bro. You
Let me say
projecting now,
something.
bro.
Let me say, yeah, I'm gonna project. What's wrong with that? That's what
Because it's
people
not
do.
true.
Well, it is true because this is the
You've
problem
never
that I
heard
have.
me
I'm a
advocate for
identifier.
that Blue Lives
I'm
Matter
an
or any of that
identifier.
shit.
Hold on. Now you projecting, but that's cool. But no,
Oh,
I
okay,
just want to
good.
identify what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about you specifically, see, because now I'm just talking about the general talking point that I hear from especially the people who identify as black conservatives, people like maybe like I'm gonna project on black bourgeoisie. But at first they big up the police, they support the cops. Let's get rid of Pookie, more funding to the police. But then we don't trust the government. The police are the government. So and then you want smaller government, so let's defund the police. Oh no, we don't want to defund the police. What?
No,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
a good arm
You
bar.
see,
That's a good mental arm bar you just threw up on. That was good. I gotta give you that one.
well, see, no, it's this is what I'm trying to see. My thing is like this. It's fun to just get up there and talk. So that's cool. I don't understand. I don't have a problem with us. Like right now, some of us we just talking. Some of the stuff we just
Yeah,
talk.
we just shooting shit. This
But
barbershop. Yeah.
right. So that's one level. So I don't have a problem with that. But when you hear a consistent talking point consistently across various sections of this I guess of this agreed upon position, which is called conservatism, this is going to filter into a policy because what you're doing, you're justifying policy. So now, you know, you're kind of shooting yourself in the arm. You're saying you don't trust the government, you want smaller government, but you want to add funding to the police. Of course, it's going to be a police state.
Yeah. So my thing was.
Yeah, but not all political parties want a smaller government.
All right, guys.
Democrats don't want a smaller government.
You do understand that the police
Libertarians
has the
want a
biggest
smaller
union.
government.
Say again. Say that one more time.
The police has the biggest union out there.
Well, yeah.
Does
See, that's a
anybody-
criminal organization too.
Wait. Does
Yeah,
any other union out there offer as much to their employees, as much support or
the teachers
healthcare,
Teachers-
or pension,
teachers union.
The teachers union.
or
AFL-CIO.
okay. So that's another state
I don't-
employee. Do we have anything for us public people, civilians like this? That
Oh.
reduces our costs, reduces the nothing, right?
Well, I mean,
So
I'm in a union.
When I
I'm
hear
in the
stuff
union,
like
but it's
fund
not
the
as strong as.
police,
I
that's
know
what I mean. We should all be in a union where
But we
we're all
also have
covered with
states that are right to
healthcare.
work states that are against the union.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
have to be in it.
Well, yeah, because in America, everybody
and
the whole
it-
thing is being against everything.
And those
it could be good for me. Let me be against it.
Yeah, but
because
it
it's
can
not
also
gonna be my freedom.
backfire too. You can get a lot of nepotism.
but those
and-
right to work states like Texas, like Georgia, like
Arizona.
Florida, Arizona, they are the cheapest states to work in. They have the highest crime. Yeah, the highest levels. I mean, even though California has high crime too, but the point is, it's like
What, cheapest pay or
the cheapest pay,
living standards?
the cheapest pay, and they have the cheapest pay. They have low living standards, but their pay doesn't match with everybody. All the skilled employees, all the skilled labor who can travel, they leave those states. Even though sometimes those are the better states to live in, all your family is there, but you're like, dude, I can make this much over here.
I don't know,
I mean, like
Texas is
triple.
growing. Florida is growing.
Well, see, they don't
Oregon
have to
has
get
grown. They all
regulation.
got new representatives added to them.
Right,
California lost one.
but they're representing the companies. Like in Florida, if I go to work in Florida, I don't want to make no $23 an hour, $25 an hour for what I do.
But you don't pay income tax in Florida.
My God, but see, I'm sitting up here making $84, bro. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I can get contracting. It's easier for me to get contractors. It's just so much stuff in these right to work states, man, that it's
Mike,
against
Mike,
the.
if you don't mind me
it's
asking, what state are
individual.
you in, Mike?
I'm in California right now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right now. Yeah. I'm in California right now. But like I said, it's like even the lowest pay, even non-union in California, they benefit from the union in California because they can charge more. They're making $50 an hour. They're making $47, $43 an hour, non-union. But
Yeah,
over there,
we might need a union in tech. I don't know. It's just starting to.
Say it
So
again?
we might need a union in tech or something like software development.
So
Well,
the,
you're gonna
so
always-
the union gets you higher pay
well, it's the collective
instead of
bargaining.
saving you money so that you can
I think the
offer
oil
business
industry
to
has a union.
more people.
They save you money too. This union saves you money because they're gonna have programs where they help you build up your down payment for your house. They got all of this. Like if you want to be, let's say, a realtor, you're gonna give the union members a certain benefit, a discount. So they do things to save you money too. So I mean, but the thing is, it's like,
And this includes everybody, or is this just like your niche union, and then there's somebody else niche union?
well, yeah, it's my niche union,
Yeah.
but
Because wouldn't it be more? Sorry to interrupt you, but wouldn't it be more productive if California would offer everybody the same privileges when they're working? Not that
No.
the McDonald's has a new union, these have a union, kind of like that. Everybody's at least medically covered.
But
through
that's
it.
not the American. That's not the American way. We have to fight each other. It's easier for them to rule us if we are
there
angry.
needs to be. Okay.
We have to.
So that's why I'm not understanding the whole
Yeah. You're
communism
trying to make
coming
it
to
work.
America thing. I'm trying to. Well, the thing is also you produce in China cheaply, then you bring it to America and you sell it as just as expensive as if it were being made by Americans.
Well,
And there's no
you know,
saving.
no, they said that
And the
if
same
they made,
thing
if
is
they
with
made
everything else.
iPhones, if they made iPhones in America, they'd cost like $20,000.
Well, maybe
Well, the
not
thing is,
anymore.
though-
I've been seeing your pay rates have been going down for low income skilled
Your
workers.
pay rates
So
aren't you American? What the fuck?
yeah, your pay rates in America.
You said that like you're not American.
They
Well,
just,
see, that's
they
what-
just went to the $15
The
minimum
pay
wage.
rates in America.
Okay, my bad, Jay. It's just you said it like y'all motherfucker. Like, ain't you American?
Yeah. Okay, it sounded.
He doesn't
I
live
got
here.
it.
You probably haven't lived there in like what 30? I don't know, 20.
I've never lived there. I lived there for 3 years. That's everything else. But I mean,
Yeah.
my
But
parents
isn't
lived
China,
there. My
isn't
parents
China
been
a
born
caste
there.
system?
Oh,
He don't live
Isn't
here.
China a caste
He
system?
don't he don't live here, so that makes sense.
Not really.
But
I
Lou,
mean,
Lou, this is what I've been trying to tell y'all. This is the reason why I try to tell some of, when I say y'all, I'm talking about the conservative circles of brothers.
I mean,
what I'm
America is
saying
also a caste system.
But
You speak.
but what I'm saying is, if you look at this point, what I'm going to say, when you're raised in a certain region, you're going to get programmed a certain way. You're going to talk a certain way
That's true.
because that's just what you're used to. Just like James, he's technically American, but he has a different upbringing, so he's going to have a different perspective. He's going to talk a different way. Now that's why I'm trying to say, like, some people who, when we banging on what pooks and all these kind of things that people talk about, but yeah, I'm saying, and then you're looking just like the same people that you're talking about, that you're trashing. You literally look just like them, but you think you're different because you were raised differently. But when other people look at you, they They looking at Pookie.
You know what, Mike? I'm gonna tell you when I was Mike. I'm gonna tell you some real, like some honest to gosh, like thing right here. Like when I was coming in through Panama, there was the Cuban baseball team, right? They came off the same they came out the same gate we did. Yo, I'm telling you, they did not. They looked just like young kids from my high school. Like they didn't look mixed. They didn't look. I mean, they dressed like how
From
how
Cuba.
I did
They're
in high
black
school.
people in Cuba.
Exactly. That's what exactly. That's my point. I'm like, damn, they look just like me. Like I know that's like, they had the Cuban jersey, but I'm like, they
But
dressed like
why did that
they were
surprise you?
they were dressed like me. They had their hair
What kind of
lined up.
sports
Why-
team were they? Baseball?
But why?
Yeah, it was
But
baseball,
Lou,
Cuban.
let me ask him this question. Let me ask him a question. You got to
Mhm.
ask yourself, why did that kind of surprise you? Because what had you
Because
been?
they were
told-
Cuban. Because they were Cuban.
But what had you been told about life and about other groups of people before then that made you say, "Wow, that surprises me. That's not what I expected."
Yeah, I didn't
You see what I'm
expect.
saying? Well, like, you're
Oh, go
right.
ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're being programmed, and we pretend like the way we grew up, it's like this for everybody.
Right,
No.
but my thing was though, Mike, I didn't see them as like Pook though, you know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying. They did look like me, you know what I mean? Like they did dress, walked, talk. They didn't talk, they spoke Spanish, but you know what I'm saying? Like they
Look at Black Conservative. He said, "No, when they see you, they see." You don't know what these people see when they see you. I can't tell. They see me. Like James may see something different because of his way he is exposed and grew up. But if somebody may grow up in Utah, they see a certain thing. It's just what it is. That's the reason why it's not good to perpetuate negative stereotypes based on the way people look. It's not safe. It's not good for your business. When you go into an office room, yeah, it's just not good to keep doing that,
I mean,
guys.
a lot of people generalize. I mean, you see a
every
group of black people over there, you see a group of white people over there. It's kind of
Right.
somebody's always looking for beef, and then it's always nice to be like, yo, can you come over here a second? A buddy comes over me and says, here, this is my buddy, and then the guy that's having beef with me is like, yo, that's my buddy too, and then all of a sudden, there is no beef. So
the thing that I'm trying to get over, I don't have a problem with nobody having their hash out conversations and everything. What if I could just get people to deal with this one point? Like, no group should be demonized just because the way they look, just off the rip. Like if I see a group of Asian guys over there with their hat toward back or whatever, I shouldn't say, damn, that might be the Yakuzas or something. Or if I see a group of white guys over there with maybe chewing some straw, I shouldn't say, man, those people are some white supremacists or something. I better hurry up and get out of here. I gotta be scared, So what I'm saying is the young black males and young black people are literally being demonized just based off their look. No, just off the rip. As soon as they see you, that's trouble.
Yeah, but
right
I think
away.
The
That's not good.
But I think
But see, y'all see, I'm not talking. See, Lou. What I'm saying is, before somebody gets to be able to tell that if you're a pook or before they even hear your voice.
No. I'm with you.
Your
Mike.
image is being demonized. That's bad. You shouldn't, guys. You gotta stop doing that.
No, I feel you. No, I see exactly what you're saying. What I was saying though, I was like, I think when they said the pook thing, I think it's your pook. Once
I know what
done,
they're saying.
Like once you've done that thing, now you're pook. It's not
I
like
know
you're
that.
Off rip. Okay, I got you. Okay.
I know, but I'm saying what you're actually communicating to the world though is
because you got white pooks, image. You got Ching Ling.
But no, you can't say white.
You got Jorge Pooks.
No, you can't say that, Lou, because there's a lot of people. You can ask them, "Are you talking about white Pookie?" They will say no.
But it depends on where you live, right, Mike? If you live in around
Pookie's a low life.
Yeah, it's like the criminal. It's like the criminal element. Yeah, low life. Yeah.
They call Pookie and Ray Ray. This is a term that Black Americans come up with. It's our cousins. Everybody got a cousin named Pookie.
Nothing
Ray
Jersey
Ray.
Shore related
Peanut. These type of names that we come up with in our community. This is something
And
that black
yeah, this is a part of our lexicon. This is
But you got,
not
you know, you
wrong.
have those kind of people everywhere. The people that
I know
will
that.
never leave the community, and this is kind of like where this generalization stops, where it's just like, oh, those black people. If you speak the way you speak, the way you can, you know, communicate with people, that's one key. And you diversify it as you know. If I meet a black person that speaks a different language, maybe a language that I can speak, then experiences open up. You know, I have it here sometimes with Chinese people they're just like, they speak as if they're German. You know, or
Mm.
you have Americans or Chinese that speak like they're from New York because that's where they lived. You know, it obviously there's this visual. You have this racial kind of block. It's just like, I'm looking at him and he looks black. You know, oh, look at his clothes. This is what he's like.
Right.
Oh, look, you know, and then but
Yeah.
then you get beyond that once you
If you get
communicate,
beyond
you
that.
talk to these.
That's the
if
issue.
you do, yeah, if you do.
That's the issue
It's-
that I'm having.
Obviously,
Because
it's
a lot of people-
hard for me. Let's say if even me just coming into a chat group like this, you know, it's I will always get the heat. You're black. You're not black. This is a black conversation. You're not American. This is an American conversation. You know, and it's kind of like, yeah, but even if I'm not, beyond that, there are experiences that, you know, you can have with people. I don't have much experiences with a lot of Pookies because I don't have time for Pookies. There's plenty of Pookies running around here, honestly. Like, it's Pookie Nation over here. You know,
Right.
it's
no. Where's over here, James?
but Beijing, China.
Oh, okay. You know what? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm up.
So, but I mean, yes, I see the things that happen to black people here. I see the things that happen to white people. If you ask me, I've had 3 black people kind of not disappear, but leave China, and I don't have any contact to them anymore. Either it's because they don't want to, or because I don't know. But I also have a majority of white people that have left. So maybe 3 black people and maybe 50 white people that have left over the last 3-4 years, you know, I mean, and it's gotten tough here. So I do understand that people that are kind of more American or Canadian or have a household outside of China, which I don't have a family to go back to, or I do, but not like you would have, like a mom's house or dad's house or a family. So I understand that they just leave, you know, but
So do you feel like this? Let me ask you this, James. Do you feel like just some kind of hermit crab, just kind of roaming the world? You gonna put down roots anywhere?
Well, I mean, I've got,
You're a Rolling
it's kind of
Stone?
like where no, it's I'd like to move on to a next something. I mean, usually I have 1 or 2 people that move somewhere and they're just like, hey, it's great here. You should come here, check this out, blah, blah, blah. And then I feel safe. I won't go to Kenya alone. I won't go to Ethiopia alone. I'll only go there if I know somebody there. So that's the only way I know I'm safe. You know, if I know an Ethiopian here, I know a Namibian, an Algerian, Egyptian, you know, and if they're back in their country, I'll feel safe there. Just like in America, if I know you're in California, Super Mike, you're pretty much the only person I know in California. So if I'm coming to Cali, then chances are I'd probably be like, yo, I'm coming to America. Mind, you know, just be in a security just in case, you know. I mean, that's how I work, you know, and it doesn't matter what color you are, you know, because I've gotten
So let me
beyond
ask
the
you this
point of-
question. Your parents, so like you said, it was something like that. Like, what's up with your family and stuff? Like, because I'm trying to understand this. Because see, this is what. Are you feeling like a refugee? Because do you have any kind of like, what's like your loyalty? Where you stake your flag at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you have that?
No, I'm more. I never understood the concept when I was younger because it was kind of like nationality was something. color was never something, but cultures. I'm interested in cultures. I'm interested in music. I'm interested in stuff that doesn't kind of excludes the national pride, because as soon as like America's trying to divide you into all your little things and thinking that you can make it on your own, which is not going to happen. You can't run your own electric grid. You can't run your own, things are going to look at the military. You can't go and invade another country without having everybody in America, every race that is divided
Right.
together,
Yeah.
fighting the enemy in their own country.
Yeah, that's That, I think
You're
so.
you're fighting, you're sending Marines over to a different country that are all of a different nation to fight a different nation on their grounds, so
You keep saying
it's
you a
amazing.
lot, man. Like I mean, you got.
Yeah, well, that's that. I'm also not talking to the people. I'm talking to the government, the state, how culture is run, how. Yeah, and somebody asked, what is American culture, and what would you start with? Freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, fast food,
Well, actually,
barbecues.
the Congress
So
has to authorize a war, and the representatives in the Congress are diverse. There's different races in the Congress. It's not all just one race or one
yeah,
thing.
but
There's
you
different
don't
parties.
need Congress anymore. The president
Well,
does that now.
No, within 90 days, I think it is, he has to report to Congress. It has to be authorized.
Yeah, unless, and I think we have, or we don't call
But
it a
you know
war.
what I'm saying? But
Something like
check
that.
this out,
There's-
James. Now check this out, James. Now let me ask you
Please.
this question. It's a hypothetical. Now this is serious. So okay. Let's say tensions heat up between America, China, serious.
Yeah.
Then let's say there's a lot of places that you may be able to go, but let's say you don't feel very safe in some of these places. That's why you keep your American passport, because if push come to shove, wouldn't you just say, you know what, I'm just going to come back to America, get me a little place somewhere, and I'll lay low for a while until this boils down. Isn't that like a safety net for you?
In the end effect, yeah. If I would see America, yeah. I mean, in the end effect, that's the safe haven. But lately, it's not.
Yeah, like you
I
may
mean,
not prefer it because you have some differences and you're critical.
Yeah.
You're critical, but like you just cited, like you said, the Constitution. There's some good things there. Obviously, you quoted the freedom of speech and some other stuff that you admire.
I'm
But then you
literally
have the critical.
homeless in America. So if I fly back, I have places I can go, families I can visit. But there are
Right.
families, distant families, my sister, but it's very limited.
But
It's not like I
but
can
it's
go
your
there and be
root.
like, hey,
But it's your
not
root,
my
and
root.
No.
No.
Well,
If I wanted
America. What I'm saying
I would
is,
go back to
what I'm saying-
Germany.
Okay, so
If I
Germany
need
is really
more
good.
family and friends, I go back to Germany. Yeah,
Okay,
So why don't you
Germany
apply
is
for
good.
German citizenship?
because I would have to take the damn test.
You're already a citizen in America, though, right?
Yeah.
See,
I
that's
mean-
what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, and I'm just using that as an example, is this just is human nature. It's like this. There are some people in a given community that feel ostracized by whatever issue. They don't feel connected to the group, whatever it is. But they have a history with that group. And if push came to shove, they would go back to that group and hang out for a minute.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean,
that's Yeah. So the
It's-
only reason why
you always
only
have
reason
that
why-
safety, but
Yeah,
if it's a
and so-
real safety, it's like for me, it's kind of like if America would not be my first choice to go back to.
But what I'm saying is,
if there's war with China, I probably wouldn't go back to the U.S. either. I'd probably try to.
Because do you look American? Because I mean, well, I'll say it like this.
You look American.
Yeah.
Do I look
Well, what I'm
American? Do I
saying is,
look like you?
well, I'm gonna rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. Okay, so like if someone, because actually your accent, I couldn't tell that you were born somewhere else. You have a typical accent that would be found in America. So I wouldn't be able to tell. So what I'm saying is if there was an intense anti-American sentiment that circled the world, so intense, would that affect how you moved? Would it affect how you did business and things like that?
No,
Like-
because that sentiment has been getting worse and worse and worse over the last 30 years, pretty much since my life began. You know,
Oh,
it used to be like, oh, Americans, me too. Honestly, like in Germany, I used to run up to these military guys, especially black guys, because they would stand out. There were no, like, for me as a kid, I wasn't out all the time. You know, I didn't see everything. But when I was out with my parents, there'd only be white people around. And if it was a black person, I knew he was from America because he was a soldier. This is back when, you know, Britain and America and the Soviet Union still were actively in Germany. And then that changed at some point. You pulled out all the soldiers, the black American soldiers disappeared, and in came the German-speaking blacks and the French-speaking blacks and the Africans. And that, you know, that changed. But an aspect to America, I mean, yeah, it used to be, embassies used to be seriously guarded. You know, there used to be attacks all over the place against Americans. We were told never to admit that we are American because it's we are Americans abroad. You don't tell this to Americans in America.
Were one of your
obviously,
parents
because
in
you're
the
safe.
military?
No. Family was in the military, like every American family. But no, they were civilians. But
I know families in America that never served.
Oh, okay. But I mean, if I'm just saying, in some form, everybody's connected to the military. I've had people in Vietnam War, Korean War. I didn't serve. I wouldn't want any of my family members or my kids to serve personally. I prefer to have them give them a wider choice of options. But you know, that's their thing. If I ever decide to make them. So right now it's still my choice. So, but with the sentiment thing again, you know, over the years, other countries, you know, it's America comes and often says you're either with us or against us. And it's kind of like, well, can't we get a neutral position? And they're just like, no, you're either supporting the enemy or you're with the liberator. And a lot of this doesn't sit well with a lot of countries. And a lot of countries, you know, it's the sentiment, although a lot of people like to go to America, it's always this, because you sell America very well. You sell the freedom, the liberty, you know, and for a lot of people, it's true. You know, you can go to America and you don't have to worry about your parents telling you something that you're not allowed to do because you're free. You're a free person. The government
Can
comes
you talk
in
bad
different
about
ways
China?
in America.
Can you talk bad about China when you're in China?
Sure,
No.
there's plenty of things I can talk bad about China. You want to
while
get
you're
this
in
stream
China, you
taken
can say
down
that, and
completely?
they're not going to come down on you.
Depends on how publicly I say it. You know, do I want them to come down on me?
No, but
it's-
see, here in the United States, you can have a difference of opinion and disagree with the government, and they're not going to come down on you like in China.
Well, I mean, you don't talk to the government. The government does what the government does, just like in the United States. You can try to reason with them. You can try to reason with local authorities, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about China is you have so many people. And if you have so many people that can be convinced of something that is bad, like a cop being corrupt, or even a guy just bitching. They had a guy here. He got out of his car. He cursed off the city. Told everybody the city's shit. The cops had to lock him into the police station to protect him from the mob.
Oh,
So you have to understand, if just take a 1.3 billion state or a country with 1.4 billion Pookies.
dang.
So now, let's take away the 100 million that are maybe a little bit more intellectual, but you've got 1.3 billion Pookies. So, and now start a mob against somebody.
James,
I
I
mean,
gotta warn you.
How'd that work
James.
out in Hong Kong?
Hey, James.
huh?
Hold
Hong
on,
Kong was
James.
only
Hold
a
on,
street that you saw.
Hold on, James.
Yeah.
I gotta warn you. Okay, so you're gonna have a problem saying that there's some words that black people can say in
What did
certain
I just
ways
say
when
that
you
was
say.
not?
Well, no, it's not. It's
Oh,
not like yeah. It's
I
just
can't
like
say Pookie.
when you. Yeah, but you
The
don't
way
want
I
to just
said
throw
it.
it. Yeah, you don't want to throw it around liberally like that because it
Okay. All right.
you'll get
Okay.
blowback. I know you didn't know. You don't know that, but it's just like
Yeah,
there's certain words. Like for example, if I was I
like
don't know.
ninja.
My friend got in trouble because he was friends with a guy. I guess he was, white folks have a term that they use with each other. I think it's called rednecks. Okay,
Yeah.
I
Very
don't
nice.
say it like that with them. But the thing is, I had a friend that tried to use that, and he got put in his place because that was something that was
But
between them.
but I was
Yeah.
talking about 1.3 billion
I know what
Chinese
you're saying though.
Pookies.
Yeah, I just wanted to warn you
Oh.
just so that once as you go
Yeah,
around.
because there's always going to be. I don't go around using any of these words. Like I'll use
Right.
it when I'm aggressive and I'm angry at myself or at other people. But it's I don't know. I watch my language. Although it's
Yeah,
good that it's good they don't
no, I
understand
just wanted
English
to
here as
warn you.
much as I speak it.
No, and the bourgeois conservative, you know, black or racist white guy in blackface, he says you can say whatever you want to say, and that's true. But I just wanted to warn you because some people will kind
Yeah.
of
I mean,
step back
it's
from
all
that.
this. Oh wait, we have a First Amendment. We can say everything, but then oh wait, you're not allowed to say this because you're of a
No,
different
you can
race.
say it. You
Oh
can
yeah,
say it.
yeah.
You can say it, but
Yeah.
you may get some
I'm not
different.
naming anybody. It was just in reference to the low class, uneducated, not very experienced, unworldly
Right.
people of this nation that
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with. I don't.
Right.
I can sit in my house, which I've been doing for the last 2 years. I've been self-quarantining myself, 6 days at home. I mean, I can go out and do whatever I want to. I can go to the pub, drink beer. I'm unvaccinated. I don't have a problem here. And I know a lot of people that don't have a problem here, including black people. But and Africans, there are Americans here, so it's just got rules that you got to follow, and if you don't follow the rules, they come after you. If you don't register at the police
Well,
station, they come
I heard
after you.
the bourgeois conservative superior, Aryan. I think I heard his little feeling
What was I
down
coming
there
off a
crying.
little too Aryan?
No. This guy, no, I'm talking about. We got these black Aryans, these guys who think they're Aryans, but they're in blackface. He just said that he's superior. He's a superior human because he wears a suit. And he makes money. He's now superior.
So there's a blue collar. Oh wait, a white collar.
Yeah.
No wait.
Yeah,
But
there's certain
suits
people
have
that do
blue
that.
collars too, or gray ones.
I know, white collar, blue collar, gray collar. It's all good.
Shit,
What's up,
man, I got
BMT? Where you
jogging
at?
pants. Resting.
BMT, where you at? I'm about to get off.
I'm actually just sitting right here. I actually been sitting right here, just listening. Like sometimes sometimes I can just sit and listen to people to find out where they're coming from with no type of
Yeah.
um
Interjection.
yeah, like I don't think people know the art of how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Um and that's why my space is as strong as it is. And where I can respectfully say I carved out a lane of my own. I don't belong to no type of group or talking point on no gender war or um or when it comes to political sides or affiliations. It's fair to say y'all all can come here. Or I'm not
Right.
based on no religion or anything. Y'all all can come here and
Yeah.
speak.
Your
Now,
convergence point. Your convergence.
right, and I'm fine with that. I used to always wonder, like, dang, why don't these people ever talk, or But then after a while, I have to be in this lane because then people can't say, well, there ain't no place I can go to where I can have a logical, non-biased conversation. Well, no, I know a hotel we can go, and we can go right there. There's no hate speech. There's no kind of thing. There's literally we can have a honest dialogue with men. Now, do we have sometimes in house? Do we have sometimes in house conversations amongst? If it's something where it's us as black men we need to address, yes. If it's something where it's us as minorities we need to address, yes. If it's something where we could address it as underdog talking points, yes. But aside from that, I have certain placement of certain conversation for certain people. And that's how I built my hotel for us to have the conversation respectfully. Um I don't get involved with none of this stuff that they got going on. I'm on the outside outskirts before you hit the turnpike in your life. And I can speak earnestly. That's why I let Mike had he's a great co-host, and I appreciate him. He's like, hold up, y'all. BMT's talking. But I'm confident when I leave Mike up here or when I leave John up here. Usually they'll come and let me know, like, hey, BMT, drop. You can stop the show. Like, we're off now. Okay, once I know they're off, okay. And John will tell you, I'll turn it off right when he'll tell me. Or Mike, he'll tell me, I'll turn it off. I don't worry about James being up on here. Certain conversation, James does not mind sitting in the chat and just listening. And but me and James met on DT Dying to Live channel, and a lot of people over there, the conversations that we have here, they're foreign to. Is that fair to say, James? Like they're foreign to some of these conversations, but
Sure.
But when they come over here, now James will be like, yeah, I get why BMT talks the way he talks now on certain stuff. It's just there's different placements of different stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's some blacks, therefore they're about the amendment. Dying to Live, listen, he's all about the amendment. Where John goes, John is a heavy rod and operator for a lot of different channels, but he also holds accountability. Like, hold up, y'all chill out. I get y'all talking about the right wing, but there has to be an accountability before you go that far out, because John also, and it's fair for me to say, John also has his islander and also his minority side where you're like, hold up, y'all got to still hold accountability for this. You can't say y'all want us to talk, but you want to leave this part of the history out.
Yeah.
And there was also part of me, I used to talk arrogant, and then Mike humbled me on some things where he'll like, you'll get it when you get it. And so now I get it, and we don't always agree. But then I also understand that everybody in history in this country has had a shot at breaking the rules to get their gains in society. You're not going to tell me everybody worked faithfully without breaking some rule to get to their seat of power. That's not how power is kept. It's not how power is kept. You don't keep power by playing by the rules. No.
Even Martin Luther King told you how to how to decide which rules was the rules to break because they asked them. And I think that's a good lesson for our culture to keep going. Martin Luther King, he was telling you like, there's a thing called justice, you know. So I would just encourage people to look that up because he told them, because they asked him, okay, if we make a law, he was like, if the law is not just, you don't want the law to apply to yourself, but you're gonna have the law only apply to me. Well, then we're gonna have to change that. And that's the thing.
Mhm. That is a big thing that a lot of people I think truly don't understand, that when you're asking for certain rules or compromises, it only applies when you want it to apply. You know what I'm saying? A child is very interesting. Before I hang up, a child is very interesting. You could tell a law or a rule. Somebody says follow the rules. There is no reason to break a law or a rule. I'm gonna tell you right now. This country was built on breaking the rules.
Okay.
This country is built on breaking the rules.
The crown.
Your founding fathers broke the rules to make this country. Your founding constitution or your founding civil rights and liberties and everything that you have, or most of your ward, I can promise you, we broke a lot of rules to get wins. We're not allowed to be here. Fuck the rules. Fuck Geneva. We're gonna do it this way. If y'all think that we follow by the rules, y'all think that helps for some of the ways of how some of these things.
In every step of the way, in business, in finance, everything.
You ask for an honest businessman, and I'll show you a God. Ask for an honest politician, and I'll show you a God.
Right there.
You ain't gonna find one. There's no way. There's a reason why they like that's why there's certain rules. Like y'all, that's what I'm saying, man. Like there's certain things that even like when it comes to getting to the top, certain rules may apply to you. That don't apply to them up there. The higher you go, certain rules. Who checks the uncheckable? You just said it right there in the Free Stuff, Black Conservative. You said that you wanted to where the president can march into another state. That's breaking the rules. That was the
Tenth Amendment.
But you see what I'm saying, BMT? Within the same conversation. Within the same conversation.
That's literally a rule of the founding fathers. That's why they had a problem with the king. But the king doesn't have
professional pookie. That's a professional pookie.
The king was the greatest pookie in the land. Who checked the king? Nobody don't check the king. The king says off with your head. You don't question that of the voice of God. But see, that's when they say, hold up, bro. No, you don't get to make those rules. No, you don't get to tell your army when they get to march into my town. So guess what? This army of the National Guard is by that of the state, whether it be Texas, whether it be Georgia, whether it be Carolina, South Carolina. It doesn't matter. They answer to us, the people, because they are us, the people. That's why they have the state flag on them, because they answer to that of their state, because they're statesmen. They have to think of, hey, you want me to turn on my hometown? This is why when y'all say, well, they'll turn the military on their country, a lot of the military people are going to have a problem with that, because they're going to be like, damn, I'm not sure if I could pull the trigger on my own granddaddy, on my own mom, my own dad. See, now you got a problem. This is why they always, for the most part, most people when they join the military, you're not in your home state when you're serving.
Yep.
It's a conflict of interest. John and I will tell you, you're not in your home state. You get removed out of your home state. I served every other state, every other country, and every other country. I ain't never served in my own goddamn state. But then it would be a conflict of interest if I had to do something.
Yeah. BMT, we need you to go down there and street sweep your mama and your cousins. They out there tripping.
Yeah, okay. Good luck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, mama.
Your high school, the people you went to high school
I
with.
would be giving them. I would be giving my town every information of when we are coming before. We get there. I'm gonna put
Wait, are you
them-
looking out your window at his kids, telling him what they're doing?
No.
You're not gonna tell no man to be on no firing squad to fire on his own family. This ain't the criminal.
People he went to school with.
Right, you just not. It's not gonna work. You could never tell it. No, like that's the thing. That's the thing about it. About why our military is very different from other militaries. It's a melting pot. Though we do have our flags of our different nationalities that we hail from, and we have our checks and balances. When we get to certain foreign lands, we're united. But when we get back here, good luck telling them Puerto Rican soldiers to turn on Puerto Rico. They ain't gonna do that shit.
No.
You lost your fucking mind. You want us to what? Good luck telling them. Good luck telling them Irish boys to go round up all of them Irish people in Boston or New York. They ain't gonna do that shit. They're gonna like, what? We're not doing that shit. They're not gonna do it. They would rather turn on the government before they do that. There's checks and balances to everything. That's why even as a military leader, you got bro. You got to have the heart of your soldiers that want to follow you, or your ass might not make it back in that truck.
Yeah, mutiny.
Yep, you might get fragged.
Take you out.
You might get fragged. So you might definitely understand it, and they know that. There's one of me, and there's 36 of them. My damn 30 rounds ain't gonna take out them 36 people, and they're all trained, if not more than me. My boy is paperwork for them. Their job is to protect the mission at hand.
But see, BMT, this makes me really understand. Like, it's so many people out here just talking. They have no idea of why policy is the way it is. They don't calculate the human factor when they make policies and when they talk. They're not calculating the humanity. They think follow order. This is how it should go, according to what I was taught. Some book. They're looking at a book. You know what I'm saying? Or some little law.
You're looking at one side. You're only looking at just the blue cities. You're not looking at cities in general. You're just looking at blue cities. You're not looking at red cities. You're not just looking at a city. See, y'all call it blue city.
Blue cities and red cities.
But what does that mean?
Exactly. See, these people are really.
It's a
These are
two-party
people, man.
state. Great. Ooh, look, it's red and blue. Great.
Right, but what about the people who don't even vote? Like, what's his name? James
Like
said.
me?
Because not even most people don't vote. Most people. When you said it's 50-50 with the election, that's not
Of
really
voting
true
people.
because the voting. Yes. Of the
The results are 50-50. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Right. So this, but there's a lot of power out there. There's a lot of opinions out there that are not being heard, and opinions matter. That's what polling is. There's another lie people have been told, that opinions don't matter. Opinions are influenced. People act based upon what they believe, not what's true. They're gonna their opinion. They don't like what's going on.
I think that's a nuance of the mind state that somebody believes that. That's why I wonder about you, Black conservative. I think you're just out of touch, out of reality, man.
They're just in a religion.
You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like a religious. It's almost like a political religion.
It's like somebody that can say the church can do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And versus, well, my religion, we're infallible. But okay,
That's another big part of American culture right there is religion.
Right. And so When you can believe that, listen, then you part of the problem. Because I'm not. Listen, I'm in a red state. What are you talking about? I'm not naive to think that depending on what state you're in, that there's no problem. That's a lie. That's a lie. Then that's a lie saying that there's no crime wave of issues. We have an issue. We have an American problem. We have an American societal problem. I didn't see where was that energy when?
Where's the opioid? The opioid addiction is mainly.
All of a sudden, opioid problem. We don't have a big.
Yeah, but you
problem.
know where that's coming from, right? Afghanistan.
Virginia.
Well, we definitely have a big opioid problem. Oh, why we forgot about that? But literally, that's literally a huge problem. Or that actually attributed to more suicides, deaths. People actually hearing all about bad medical practices. All right, so we have bad medical practices right now affecting the nation right now. So
homelessness. I'll drive out of this house right now and show you a whole encampment.
So now you have it.
Yeah, some people choose to be homeless.
Well, that's the problem. Why are they so dumb? Why, so that's a whole nother conversation problem. Maybe I shouldn't have that. Go out there and talk to somebody.
It's their choice, isn't it? I mean, you can't go out and kill them because they're homeless.
We're gonna definitely wrap it up.
Can I say something real fast about the red and the blue states?
Please, John, take it over. You got it.
I just want to say, when you categorize a state as a red and blue, that's only going by the governor. Who's the governor or who's the legislature? It's not the people, because that could change 1 year from the next. They could all of a sudden become a Republican governor. Now it's a red state. Then the next time it's a Democrat. Now it's a blue state. But the people are the same,
Yeah.
Isn't a vote just an opinion?
Right.
Exactly.
Isn't voting for your president just an
Super
opinion?
Mike was saying, not everybody votes, so you can't just make a generalized statement like that about a state.
No. But that's what they like to portray it as.
No, you're right about that. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people. That's why I said when people talking about this is a red state or a blue state, John said it hit the hammer on the head. That's only going by that of the person that's sitting in that seat at the time. And then only to be fair, to be honestly, for the last 8 years, people really did not want to vote. They didn't want to vote. A lot of people are actually done. They're tired of politics.
I'm voting for Kanye West. I ain't gonna lie. Whatever.
Literally,
Kanye. Let me see what Kanye West.
These political talking points from a lot of these political people, it's getting old. People actually got tired of hearing about the political talking points. But all there are just a bunch of troll talkers. Just trolls talking. Look at this.
They don't care about what's true. They don't care about what's true.
It just
Can we all agree on tax reduction and cheaper oil prices? And
we can agree. See, we can agree on that, but that's not a political talk.
But that's what they sell you.
Right. See, be honest. The president does not control them oil tycoons. He really don't. Yeah. He doesn't control them. He doesn't control them billionaires. Understand this. The people that sit in the 1%, they're not.
He helps them.
Hold on. Listen. He's one of them. He's actually the voice for them.
Yeah.
You don't control. It's laughable when people thought, because Donald Trump's a billionaire, he's going to tell his colleagues. He's going to tell his colleagues who are richer than him what to do. Ones that he goes to for money, the ones that his kids sit with at a dinner table, he's going to tell them what to do. When they're like, Negro, you forget, we could drop all your secrets tomorrow. We could drop you out of our trade deals tomorrow. So how are you going to drain us when we can drain you first? See, understand, you will never chastise their own. They will deal with their own how they see fit.
Yeah.
You don't deal. That's why when they say, "Oh, these billionaires, we're
going to punish them."
You can't force.
We're going to deal with Pelosi. We're going to punish Pelosi. We'll get her. We'll get her. Yeah, they just put that little carrot up for you to keep swiping at that carrot while they're stealing all your freaking money. It's like, bro. And then for the other side, it's like, oh, here's I don't know who.
But don't look at that. Don't look at that. Look at what China's doing.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is, these people can
worry more about China. Worry less about America.
these people can move outside the U.S.
Well, it's a lot of stuff
and
to worry about, but
like understand it, the rich can move outside of the U.S. easily and never have to come back.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people say,
Yep.
"Well, great, let's move the rich out." Then where you gonna get your jobs from? No, you understand. There's a balance. We always talk about there's a balance. The middle class will always be the spine. Your poor class will always be the legs, and your rich class is going to always be at the top. They're going to be on the crown.
Do
of
you
the
guys
brain.
ever question what nationality these rich people have? I mean, you're just
I don't-
assuming that like Bill Gates
Yeah,
is
well,
They
US
don't have
American.
nationality. They're
There's no-
international.
Yeah.
They're,
They have
these
something.
people have a
globalists.
one world. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have a one world religion. They have an
Yeah.
agenda.
That's their.
Yeah, well, you can
exactly.
still you can
That's
tell.
Everywhere,
you
all
can-
the way.
yeah, you
They
can
don't
tell
have-
by
don't-
what they
don't
do.
answer them.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't
by
answer
what
to
they do.
nobody.
You don't look at what
Yeah.
they say or where they were born. You look at what they're actually doing. They have an
Yeah,
agenda. They're supposed to have.
religious stuff. That their one world. When they talk about the all-seeing eye and who sits at the top, there's so much context in that. Like, understand this. I have seen men of power. They're not generated. It's not by the context of your skin. It's about
Yeah.
what can you do.
Hey, where's the
I got to end. Yeah, I
cat
got to end the
thing?
stream.
I'm
Mike is
sorry.
right.
Sorry.
Mike is right. I need to end the stream.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But like I said,
I'm all over
that's
the
a whole talk for another
Sorry.
time. But when I understand this, the men and women, or the seats of power, that is a religion by itself. That literally they, you and I will never. I always find it interesting when people say we're going to call them out. How you going to call them out? You don't even know their names. You only know them when they feel themselves to reveal themselves. Other than that, they don't care to be in the light.
Yep. Yep.
They
That's
do.
why they have
Yeah.
scapegoats.
They're in Epstein's black book.
See, and that's the
Epstein.
thing
Oh,
about
well,
these-
please. I really come on now. But the thing is, you know what, BNT?
I'll just
They're
start with
gonna-
that then. God, frick.
He'll be.
You have
he'll
all
be-
of them right there.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like this. People know. It's like you can. The thing is, it's like this. The people have to get together. You know. That's why. Anyway, that would be a whole nother string. I don't even want to
That
get
had to be a
into it.
whole nother topic. Well, we'll see you.
I don't
guys
even want
later.
to get into it
Great
because
conversation. John, shout out to
Yeah.
John, shout out to James, shout out to Mike. It was a great
Yeah,
talk
it is,
with
guys.
y'all guys.
Yep.
Definitely.
shout out
enjoyed
to
it.
everybody, even Black Conservative, Hood
Black
Conservative.
Conservative, he did a real good job. He did a
He
really
did
good
it good. Black Conservative did
that's
good
our-
from
that's
the
our new
chat.
bourgeoisie, bro. The bourgeoisie, they just like to throw.
He said he's superior.
We're sitting here playing spades on our table while he sits from his gala throwing peanuts at us.
Yeah.
But he said he always comes from his gala. But we'll still
Did a good job, though.
entertaining him. But we'll see you guys later. Y'all take care. See you guys.
All right,
Y'all
peace out.
have a good day.
Cheers, guys.